just you and me. Change again, just you and me. Change again, change again. Can't do it alone, Need some help, y'all. Can't do it alone, yeah. Wake up, everybody. Wake up, everybody. Need a little help, y'all. Yes, please. Need a little help. Said boy, need some help, y'all. Change the world, what it used to be. Do it alone. Need some help, Dad. Wake up, everybody. Get up. Wake up. Come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in there. No more about the thinking. Time to thinking ahead. Come on. Wake up, everybody. I'm talking about don't push out. Stop pushing that dope. Don't use up. Stop using the dope. Wake up. Yeah. Wonder what you tell me now. False lying. False preaching. False teaching. Wake up, y'all. Come on. You preachers. Stop preaching what you teach. Teach the truth. Wake up, preachers. Liars. Politicians. Well, stop lying. Why don't somebody help the old people? Well, help me, baby. Stay on that, baby. Help me, you businessmen. What? Stop cheating. Wake up, yeah. It don't matter. Yeah. What race, creed, or color. Everybody, we need each other. Wake up, everybody. Well, you see, we need, wake up, everybody. We need, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking. Time for thinking again. All the teachers start to teach a new way. They're the ones that suffer each and every day. Teach the children, teach the babies, teach the babies, teach the children, teach the babies, teach the babies.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible affair. And when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you and I know it's gonna be a lovely day.
In all your electrical supplies. A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
easy. Let not your hearts be troubled. Just believe in God Almighty and daily renew the mind. As we live in this time when fake is more valued than real, and lies prefer to truth, the unnatural put above the natural. This is Lady Donna, aka Double D Donna, with a new song, Almighty Jah, encouraging your people to keep the faith. God will make a way. Get your copy today. It's on all digital platforms. Lady Donna Official on Instagram, Facebook, AsujaRecords.com. For bookings, Asuja Record Label at Gmail. Almighty Jah!
Live the life. Respect the music. And keep your radio locked in.
The Bess100 FM.
Today's best music. The best mix of your light run favorite beats is on
Bess FM.
Free-flowing Thursday, and we are so pleased to be here at the beautiful Ligony Club. We're coming to you live from Ligony Club, where we are hosted by our club family and by JD's Urban Pub, the restaurant that serves up delicious food every day. So, good morning to those who are online, already giving me some shout-outs and some good humor too. Good morning, Conrad. I just wanted to see if you guys would miss us. We did a rebroadcast yesterday because there were just so many things going on. We'll tell you about it perhaps in the coming week, because I know I did announce that producer and I are in court. There's a very important constitutional matter going on. And yesterday the producer had to give evidence. He was in the box pretty much all day. Anyway. Enough of that. You're gonna get the full story, because there's no secret between us. Good morning to those who have joined us on air. We are so pleased that you make the time to just spend the morning with us. We have a jam-packed day this morning, and I tell you, I needed a shift in gear yesterday just so I could be ready for today. So let me give you an idea of what we have lined up here. So, our international guest this morning, STEM Uprising, two Jamaicans living in New York who have decided that the mission to raise up a charity and do some good work for the communities of in Clarendon. When they come, they'll tell you exactly where. Communities in Clarendon, as well as our own Percival Hospital in Manchester. We have Akiba and Wayne Williams, who are going to be spending some time with us. And I'll tell you, they're here promoting 3 summer events that they're having in Jamaica. Blood drive, back to school treat, and a 5K. You will hear all about it right here. And then we are continuing in our series with our JPS, our friends from JPS, and Mrs. Ruthlyn Johnson, Customer Service Area Manager, is going to be spending some time with us as well, talking about how to have fun whilst conserving on your consumption during the summer. And last but not at all least, we have our friends from the SOS Children's Village, the Stony Hill Village, who are going to be with us this morning as well. I think they've arrived. Good morning. Just waving to them, Offset. They're going to be spending some time with us. They are coming up in the 7 o'clock segment. And today, as we have been telling you, is their founder's birthday. And it is being, of course, the founder has died many years ago, but they continue to celebrate and acknowledge his great contribution. So they're going to be here talking to us a little bit, bringing some greater awareness. The SOS Children's Village is a voluntary organization, and their mission is to care for those children whose parental situation requires them to be under different supervision and custody. It is a residential village. The kids live there. So you know that the needs and the need for us to show them love continues to be great. And I tell you, after what happened in Cocoa Peace, any child that you can catch and show some love to, this is the right time, because we got to make up big time for how those children and their mother were savagely murdered right there under our nose in a close-knit community. Spalding's Hospital and Lionel Town Hospital are two hospitals in the rural areas that we're going to talk a little bit about, because that is where STEM Uprising does their work. And we're expecting to speak to the CEO of the Percival Junior Hospital, and one of the doctors from Lionel Town Hospital is, as we speak, speeding her way towards us because she's going to be on set with us. So I mean, that's quite a bit that we have lined up for the morning. I want to talk a little bit about what happened in Cocoa Peace. And the reason I'm raising it so early in the morning is that many of us ask the question, where was God when that was happening? And I even heard one person talking about people asking for divine intervention, and it seemed like it was a puzzle to him that such a call could go out. Well, I'm gonna say that if you look at the headline in yesterday's paper that said barbarity, and it had a picture of Minister Percival Williams holding the mother, and I think Percival Williams' comment sums it up best. Well, first she says the most she could do was hold this mother's hand. This is the mother whose daughter and grandchildren were butchered in their home, in the community. Minister Williams, it seems like if there was anything that shocked the government ministers, this certainly did it. Apparently they all roads led to Cocoa Peace. So the first thing about it is it got the attention of our lawmakers and those who, sit in high places. But when she went there, she made a comment which I believe is something all of us should just reflect on deeply. She's MP for an area that knows violence. In fact, they're coming fresh out of a man being murdered in Judgment Yard. That's like going into Judgment Yard is actually a temple. I mean, it's a church. It's not a party place, it's a church. And for someone to go in and commit murder right there in the church, we've been seeing quite a few of those incidents in Jamaica. We saw what happened in the church in Montego Bay. Well, I think, was it in Trelawney? That a woman was killed while sitting in the pew. Someone walked in, butchered her, and it was a domestic situation too. Son fighting stepmother over what father left behind, and it ended up in murder in a church. We had another what looked like a sacrificial killing taking place in that other church in Montego Bay, and you had that murder by gun taking place in Judgment Yard, which is, as I said, it is a church. So it's telling you that regardless of the faith you practice or whatever your denomination might be, this kind of evil is no respecter of person's location or to how you say your prayers. Let's put it that way. So here is Minister Percival Williams, who is no stranger to violence in her constituency, and who is also not known for any great sentimentality. And she was on the scene, offered some comfort to the grieving mother, and she says it is reasonable. Well, she says, from conversations she heard in Clarendon on Tuesday, it is reasonable to conclude that no policing could have prevented the killings. This requires transformation in the lives and hearts of persons, she said. Williams indicated that Tuesday's incident has triggered a greater resolve at her ministry, and her ministry is youth and education, at her ministry to redouble our efforts to reach our children from very early to teach them restorative justice, to teach them how to settle differences from early childhood stage. And that's the quote that I believe sums it up. When you say, where is God? God is where he has always been, in the hearts of men, whether we unlock our hearts to understand him and to receive him or not. Studying, watching, and seeing the actions of mankind, one to another, and urging us to be obedient to the commands that he has given us. Do not murder. Put no other God before me. Love your neighbor. Just to name three that touch on what we are experiencing in this country. It is tragic whenever lives are lost by whatever means. The experience of death does not vary according to domestic violence, motor vehicle accident, gunshot wound, or, you die asleep in your bed dreaming happy dreams. It is death. And to our Father in heaven, death, which results from the misconduct of his own children, it is not the death which concerns him, it is the misconduct. And we are all of us urged to reflect on how we are teaching our children, how we are acting one towards one another. You know that on this show, we emphasize that we are in covenant with each other under a constitution which calls each of us citizen of Jamaica and call us neighbors and require of us that we live in a certain way. The emphasis cannot be too great. These things that we see, whether it is someone littering the street or someone snatching a purse on the street or someone going into a bank electronically or by foot to steal, all these things are matters of the heart. Because when your heart is in crisis, whether it is out of need, out of loneliness, out of frustration, regardless of the emotion that causes you to feel distress, you must know where to take your feelings of distress. You must know how to connect to the source of comfort, the source of love, the source that truly provides for us. You all know the Sermon on the Mount. You all have heard it said that you must consider the lilies in the valley and the field, and consider that Solomon in all his glory was never as beautifully arrayed, dressed, positioned as one of these. So if God, who gives so generously to nature, to beings that have no tongue to speak, have no praise to offer, if he gives so generously to them, what more or how much more would he give to the people who are made in his image, who are made to be his family, to glorify him and to worship him? So when you ask where is God, or when you get skeptical that some might be saying this is a time for God, please check yourself and remember God works through the hearts of men. And when someone commits a crime like that in your community, in your neighborhood, anybody who don't ask themselves, what could I have done? What could I have done? You're not living right if you don't ask yourself that. And the reason I say it, when you read the story and you hear a person saying that this lady, she took in this man, he was a stranger from another parish, and we never like how there was something wrong and we could see, and the morning him a sharpening knife and I said, me must kill somebody today. All the persons who now reflect on it and are acknowledging that all those things were a cry for help or pulling attention to something, you got to ask yourself, who am I in my community? Am I someone who, when I see something that is disturbing to the senses, I say, it's not my business, she a big woman, I don't know why she do that? Or if you are holding yourself separate and if you are being uncaring about these situations, which show that unusual things are happening around you, then yes, you, pretty and private as you are a part of the problem that creates these things in society. Because if we are able to intervene at an early enough stage, if we are able to truly be our brother's keeper, to see someone in need and to, yes, fasten at them business, because we've begun to tell ourselves that these rules of etiquette and politeness mean something far more than the rules that require us to be good neighbors, to be good family members, to be good covenant brother and sister. We are beginning to look at some different kind of rules and saying those are more important to observe than other rules. We've got to check ourselves. So when you have a minister of government able to say, policing could not have prevented this, this requires a better application and understanding of restorative justice. And restorative justice really is about caring for each other and wanting to be just and fair and doing to others as you would want done to you. When you're sitting there at work, your money run out, you can't buy lunch, your friends are look around and they know that, okay, Minett usually eat lunch, but I don't see her having lunch today. Is there an urge in anybody's heart to say, Minett, you all right? To say, if you think Minett might be too proud and won't say, boy, I don't have the money for lunch, to say, share a sandwich with me, or so and so. We are ignoring things around us in the belief that we are being polite, or we are respecting privacy, or all of the different things that we tell ourselves. And each time we do that, we break our Father's heart, because he has commanded us, he has called us to love him wholeheartedly and to love each other as we love ourselves. Now, a lot of us don't love ourselves, and so maybe in that regard we're not disobeying. But if we love him, he will show us how to love ourselves. Had that on my heart to say from the time it happened. It struck me that if something as horrendous as that happens in a close-knit, in a small community, then it must mean that persons in the community would have observed, would have seen, may even be feeling and should rightfully be thinking, how could I ensure or do my part to prevent a recurrence in my community? We're big on community, you know, on this program. All we talk about is self-empowerment and having the capacity to help and to work things at the community level. The community is really your extended family. So if you are empowered in your families and you're teaching your children and, you know, those in your close network how to function in that way, then it will extend to the wider community, your extended family, and build and build and build until it gets to a national stage. Now, we have been praying and calling out and declaring, and I mean, really, we have been setting the stage for the hearts of our leaders to be touched with compassion and for them to be sensitive to what is required to bring things back in our country so they can lead that process. Now, when you pray for it, and when I pray, I don't try to say how I want it done. And the only reason is because I used to do that and it failed. So it's not because I am better at it than anybody else. But I've given my very clear instructions in my prayers, and not one of them work. But instead, I see things turn, and I see them turn in a particular way. And I'm saying, Jamaicans, when you see certain atrocities taking place in your communities, in your country, and you have been praying for change, and you've been praying for change at the heart level, please understand that this is the start of the change that you need. Position yourselves in it so that you can move swiftly to execute and bring it to pass. All right. Good morning, Earl. Earl says, I did miss you. Well, you know, it's so strange. Pastor Percival is off, as you know, enjoying himself. I called him yesterday, just a welfare check. And he said he was trying to extend it for a day. So, to his family, mission accomplished. It worked. The man now knows the value and was loving the rest. The value of rest, and he was loving the rest. So, oh boy, Conrad, yes, I really should do better. I know that the morning connection plays a role in maintaining sanity for several persons. Delroy says the 6 best doctors: sunshine, water, rest, air, exercise, and diet. And he did miss us too. Shout out to all those who are making the time to give encouragement and to share their comments. Honestly, we're doing this, and you know, most times I'm just like speaking to the trees, because this is an absolutely gorgeous morning. And they trim back our mango trees so you'll see a little more sun than normal. And it's really good when persons can actually, you know, say something to boost our morale and to let us know that you're feeling us. So those are my comments on what happened in Cocoa Peace, because I don't think we can remain silent, but we have to learn the right lesson from it. It is, you know, there's another thing I really should say. We have talked about anthropomorphism on this show several times. And as you know, the anthropomorphism is this whole business of attributing to a deity, a divine being, human characteristics so that we can talk about them and be able to relate to them. So we say things like God gets angry, or we say things like God is tired of this, or we say things like God is jealous. And we said things like God sits, or he lifts his hands, or when we want to convey different emotions, or when we want to get a relatable perspective on how the divine interacts with us. So persons will say, like, you know, where is God in this? Because surely God must be tired of these things. No, your divine creator don't feel things like exhaustion. How can he? He's the source of all things. So why would he be tired? He immediately replenishes himself. Even when I say immediately, that denotes a concept of time, but he exists outside of our concept of time and space and matter. So, but in order for us to be able to relate to the concept of God in a functional way, we say these things. He cannot be tired of man's foolishness. If he were tired of it, oh, God help us. And you see, even when we talk about it, we still have to say, God help us. But he tells you that his compassions are new every morning and his faithfulness is great, which means that we sin and we break rules and we're doing, and he's looking at us, and every time he sees us do something that we would say is disappointing because we have not acted in accordance with the rules, his compassion, his love, his patience rises to the fore. But the great thing is he is expecting, because that is how he has made us, he's expecting you and me to rise to the occasion and solve the problems in this realm. So yes, divine intervention, because it is the divine who controls the heart. The heart of the king is in the hands of God. So, you know, tomorrow morning the prime minister can get up and do an about face on an issue which required greater heart, because in the night hours, his creator will massage his heart and open up some new door. And we pray for that. But in the same breath, the same work has to be done in us. And we are the ones who have to get up and move and do things to bring about change. I cannot emphasize anymore how great a requirement that is and how necessary it is. All right, what is happening in Rwanda? You know, I really need to reserve a space in my head and my mind to keep track of what our team is doing down there in Rwanda. So this morning it says Johnson Smith brands herself as force for change in the Commonwealth. And there's a beautiful picture of her in a kind of off the shoulder thing. Really nice picture of her. She's still rejecting and apparently they're coming thick and fast at her. She's rejecting assertions that she is a source of division because of the campaign that she has run. We already know that campaign is being funded by, they say that it is being funded by the taxpayer. And that is bad enough. I don't think that is any different from when we have to write these hefty checks to get rid of persons who should never have been employed but end up being employed and then end up being, I'm talking about Petrojam, you already know that. But I am likening what has happened with our Miss Kamina Johnson to the Trafigura situation, where Trafigura made a donation to government, Trafigura itself being in a position of conflict. This PR firm that works for or worked for the tourism ministry, that firm holding a $99,000 contract to promote Miss Johnson Smith, I think they are not earning their keep, because we are having to see her too often being the one protesting her innocence, and it brings up that Shakespearean line, methinks she protests too much, is what I mean by all that. For her to be constantly having to say that she's not a proxy for the UK government, she has not come in especially to break up the field and create trouble or problems. That's not what you want the candidate to be saying. But clearly, those accusations are coming through the noise, and she's having to answer them. She's insisting that her quest for the role of Secretary General is to reshape the Secretariat to better benefit member states. The Jamaican Foreign Minister, I'm quoting now from what the Gleaner is reporting, the Jamaican Foreign Minister, who is heavily favored to unseat Baroness Patricia Scotland when they vote on Friday. So tomorrow is election day for her. So we're gonna listen out and see what comes out of that exercise. All right, it is time for our 7 o'clock break, and when we return, we're going to welcome into our company the members of the SOS Children's Village team. I know that I should be speaking to Miss Hillel Nemard, who is the interim village director, and they're here bright and early. I appreciate them for their punctuality. They are accompanied by manager Stephanie Lumley, who I'm very accustomed to talking to, but I see her walking away already, so she doesn't plan to be on camera. But please stay with us. We're going to have our friends from the SOS Children Village when we come back.
Yeah, this is Percival, yeah? And I listen to Bess FM, where music is live, pure life. Hear that?
The Mothers Union will be making a special contribution to Sister Cherry. She's really struggling to take care of her bills, you know.
Yes, I get that things are not too good with her, and the sad thing is that she gave her all when she worked at the parish council.
So true. And that is why I believe that this new compensation system that the government is implementing is a good thing, especially when you retire.
I agree. Some people don't seem to understand that it's really when you retire you really need support, and the new system will make them better off when they retire. A larger basic pay means higher pension, which leads to greater ability to look after yourself financially when you retire.
The government should have done this 10 years ago so that we could benefit.
The new public sector compensation system. Better pay, better pension. Visit mof.gov.jm to learn more.
What does a student in Augustown, St. Andrew have in common with a small business owner in St. Catherine? How about a farmer in Treadlight, Clarendon and a firefighter in St. James? Each has a unique story about how the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, has transformed their life for the better. For over 2 decades, the Jamaica Social Investment Fund has changed the lives of Jamaicans through its projects and programs. They've supported tourism and agriculture, expanded school spaces, and made safe paths for children to walk to school. JSIF has also improved community infrastructure, boosted small businesses, bolstered Jamaica's response to natural disasters, and so much more. With the help of their partners, JSIF continues its mission of investing for community development.
I mean, if I say don't know all this shot and tally, I have a message to everyone. Get vaccinated. Hey, tourism the main driver of the local economy. It provides us with jobs, feed the country. So everybody in the industry, get the job and come follow me. It don't hurt, do the nerd, link the nurse cause the vaccine work. Get vaccinated. This is a message from the Ministry of Tourism. Get vaccinated. Just get vaccinated. You're deaf?
AGD Pensioners, our mobile unit is coming to you. Meet us in your parish from Monday, June 6 to Friday, June 17. Collect and submit your life certificates. Get them certified on the spot with a valid ID, or just come for customer service support. See you in St. Thomas on June 6. On June 7, we'll be in Portland and St. Anne on June 8. In St. Mary, June 9. In Trelawney, June 10. St. Catherine Pensioners, the AGD will see you on June 11. On June 13, we go to St. Elizabeth, Hanover on June 14, and to Westmoreland on June 15, Manchester on June 16, and to Clarendon on June 17. For more information, visit our website at treasury.gov.jm.
Yeah, but the line up slap, you know. Hey, hold this.
You know the price did I just since your last visit, though?
How much now? I never really walk with no extra cash, you know.
You can't pay me with Jamdex, man.
I saw ya move, my boss. Me have my digital wallet too, so make me transfer to you right now.
A phased rollout of Jamdex, Jamaica's central bank digital currency, is on the way. Sign up for your digital wallet and get more convenience, safety, and security with your money. A message from the JIS.
NIS pensioners. Early encashment continues. Any pension order voucher with a payable date in June 2022 may be encashed as of Thursday, June 2. Collect your June payments at your convenience. Simply visit your designated post office. Remember, your pension vouchers can only be encashed at post offices. A message from the Ministry of Labour and Social Security.
Rio Grande to the South Coast. Hotel workers and man wear off boat. This a for the craft vendors, red cap porters and transportation at airport. Jamaica tourism pension plan, building towards the future. For tourism workers across the island, retirement benefits to contributions. Every worker in the industry, permanent self-employed contract. For your service you deserve security. Yes, you do. Tourism workers pension plan, build a bright future. Yes, you can. Tourism workers pension plan, workers invest through contribution. All tourism workers, age 80 to 59. Tourism workers pension plan.
Start making your contributions for a brighter future.
For further information, visit mot.gov.jm or call 876-920-4926 to 30.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
It's my station.
Moving.
Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM. Keep listening.
With all the best music from yesterday and today. All genre radio.
In the heart of New Kingston and is the single largest sporting facility in the English-speaking Caribbean. JD's Urban Pub is our resident restaurant. You can trust them with all your catering requirements. Take advantage of our excellent amenities and allow yourself to be pampered by our courteous and efficient staff. In the comfort of our well-appointed and welcoming public spaces. You are being invited to make this your home away from home. Take advantage of our full-service gymnasium. Or 8 tennis courts. Feel free to wander through the gardens and enjoy the relaxing atmosphere of this oasis that remains as charming today as when we first opened our doors in 1910, and our large-size swimming pool. 6 squash courts. In the evenings, relax with us in the lobby bar and lounge. Call or visit us today. We're excited to meet you. Good morning and welcome back. I am pleased to be joined by not one, but 3 ladies. And, you know, I'm not going to make any comment about gender equality, but one lady, her position is mother. She's a primary caregiver at one of the primary, she's careful to tell me, it's a team. And I love that because, yes, there's no kind of solo journey here. Teamwork at the village. And so I have Opal with her precious name. Opal James is at the table with me. And I have Hilary Nemhard. And of course, I have Stephanie Lumley, who is the team leader. So I'm going to allow Stephanie to just say a little bit about the team that she has brought with us to us this morning as we welcome them to the Morning Connection family. Remember, no, they are no strangers to us. I think by now we are a part of their family too.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Lawrence, for having us. My name is Stephanie Lumley. I'm the Fund Development and Communications Advisor, part of the team at the SOS Children Villages, Jamaica. And it's our pleasure to be here. So thank you for having us. Today, we have lots of things to celebrate. We're celebrating the birth anniversary of our founder, Herman Minor. We are also celebrating 50 years of SOS in Jamaica.
Wow.
That is a very, very, very important milestone. So, I want to thank, first of all, my colleagues here, Hilary Nemhard and Auntie Opal, who got up out of their beds very early.
Thank you. We are used to it, we have to send the children.
Oh, you have to get them out to school.
Yeah. Yes. I really, really appreciate you ladies being here. And, I want to say a special good morning to the rest of the SOS team that is tuned in. All our SOS family and friends who are
wonderful.
getting ready to calling their pledges. Of
Oh my
support.
goodness. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
But yeah, we are part of a fantastic team. We are one of the best childcare providers in the country, and we pride ourselves on upholding and maintaining that standard for 50 more years to come.
Yep.
All right, let me hear Miss Hillary's voice now.
Hi, morning everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for having us today. So I'm the social worker. I'm the resident social worker at Stony Hill, and I'm currently acting village director. So, today I'm excited to be here. Number one, it's my first radio interview. So for today, as Stephanie said, it's Herman Miner's birthday, and we're celebrating 50 years. At the village, we're having an amazing activity. We're doing our treasure hunt activity this evening with the children and the caregivers, and I'm looking forward to it.
So it really is a celebration both for those who are working as well as the children who live there, like any family. It's I love it that you seek to create a home environment, so it doesn't feel like you're in a state care. So Miss Opal, what is the secret to creating that home environment with your many children?
That was Herman Miner's dream.
I was reading about him and read that his parents died at a fairly early age, and he went through some tough times. Well, how are the children arranged? I mean, do they live in clusters of 4 or 5, or how do you make it feel like home? Yes,
it's a village.
Yes,
and it takes
a village to raise a child.
It's a village to raise a child. So basically, that's it. So we have like the mothers and we have the aunts. And I heard that in the future there maybe will be fathers.
Oh, that's
we want to raise them that way.
Yes.
So it's a village, and there are 14 houses on the village, but there are 7 now in operation.
Right.
I think so. Hopefully we are running on the limit right now, but we hope to get some more in the future. So each house we have house 2, 3 to 7 going right now, and each mother or aunt would look out for
the children in there.
Yes. So if one is going from house 5, that is my house.
Your house.
Going down, they would say, "Go back up your house." It's a village. It's a village. And our auntie hope all this one is going through the gate. Or this one is, you know. So basically, that's how we do it.
Stephanie, I had never given thought to how you simulate that village experience. What are the main components of a village? How do you recreate it so the children feel like we are living in a community? This is not some kind of penitentiary.
That's a fantastic question, Mrs. Lawrence. Where I would start is we lead with love. There is unconditional love for every single child and young person and adolescent that lives in our village. The truth is, a lot of the children come to us from less than favorable circumstances. And, although we do have a main guardian, there is an auntie who substitutes for her because self-care and rest is important. So they are not on call 24/7.
So that is one difference with real families. Mothers are on call 24/7.
And even when they are not officially on call,
because
are worrying about their children.
The children don't recognize rest. My son used to, like, if he came for something and I said, okay, mommy's resting for a moment. When he comes back, he says, okay, mommy, when you're done being lazy, He thought the word lazy and rest.
Interesting vocabulary he has.
Yes, he would say. Oh, and he's very straight faced saying it.
Yeah.
When you're done being lazy, can we do so and so?
But children are,
Mom is at rest, are being lazy.
And we give them that space as well to express themselves.
Yes, yeah.
We want to help to develop.
Oh, so you're not constantly smacking them and saying rude or oh, I love tell me about this.
But we don't.
You don't. All right. So there's love, and clearly there's discipline. How is that managed?
Well, we're constantly training our team members. So we have our direct care workers who fall under the supervision of our village director, who is here with us. Miss Nemhard oversees all the operations of the Stony Hill village. We also have a village director for our Barretttown village located in St. James. So they have a more executive portfolio of duties. So they are the ones that give a listening ear to the aunties. They're the ones who budget all expenses. Everything that's
all right. So you've mentioned another component of the real home, the budget and the conservation. But I want to ask Hillary, what training does one need to be able to handle that? Because most housewives not get no training.
True.
Or mothers don't get that kind of training. But so what training did you have to acquire in order to?
For me, I'm a social worker, so naturally I have a degree in social work. For
acquire that UE here or UTech, or where did you study?
For me, it was NCU.
NCU. I keep forgetting. That we have more universities and more.
Oh yes.
So a shout out to your university,
shout out
because
to Northern Caribbean University. That's where I pursued my degree in social
work.
Right. So for myself, I have an amazing team. I have family counselors, family facilitators. I also have another social worker who I work with, and of course our admin secretary. So for us, for the technical team, we work very closely with our caregivers because, of course, sometimes there might be issues or challenges with children, how they relate to each other. Also, that building that relationship with their caregivers as well. So the technical team, they are there to provide support for the caregivers and the relationship building with the children.
So let me ask Miss Opal now, mother. Recently, there was a complaint in the media. A mother she was unable to manage her son. I think she had twin boys, and she had to put them in state care. And whilst in state care, horrors and misery, and she was complaining that she couldn't manage them and so on. So, how do you handle the unmanageable, or do you have those situations? Because maybe you get intervention early. Give me an idea on how you are able to
intervention. That's basically. I think it's a gift.
Yes.
It's challenging, but I think it's a gift, and I think I possess one of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell from the smile. She's anointed to love. Everybody, because maybe some of you can't see her smile, but the heart of a mother does not come easy.
No.
And okay, you heard me speaking earlier.
Yes, I heard you.
Minister Williams spoke about this need to change at the heart level to address what is happening in the homes, so you don't find one day that 5 people are dead because that young man is not even not 30. I know I've seen 20. And I've seen 24. He would have just leave your place then for a couple of years, because at what age do the children leave you, Opal?
23.
We don't just put them out like that. They have to achieve something first that they can manage on their own, because they have children there. They go to regular school, they go to colleges, and then when we see that they can manage now, that's where they
just like a regular home.
Just like
I love it.
Going back to earlier, you asked a question, you know. The truth is the vision of Herman Minor is to create a family-based care.
Yeah.
So SOS Children's Village, it's not the typical, you know, children's home where it's not like an institution.
Right. I love that word.
It is a village.
Yes.
Right. So, you know, it's family-based care. The children, they grow up in a home, you know, a family home. Like they would their own home.
That would mean that they regard each other as real brother and sister.
Yes.
So when you leave, I mean, I have 6 siblings. That's just 6. Look like if I was in your village, how many would I have?
They have a lot. And trust me, these young people, like, they create such strong bonds. Trust me, they do.
And the bonds have endured for 50 years because there is a particular past SOS. Well, she's a very senior woman to me. She was amongst the first cohort.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Still in
from her village.
Tones village, and even now she's the one that she keeps up on her Instagram page, and she will message me and saying, you know, this is what is happening. I want to organize this for this particular village, and what she's on the ball. And she's one of many.
Let me tell you, Herman Minor for Prime Minister.
Hey.
Though he's
that man is an
that vision is enduring.
He's not from a rich family.
I saw that in my research.
He did was in what we would call in the modern days crowdfunded. He crowdfunded to get one house, because the advent of SOS Children Village. First of all, he's Austrian, and what was happening at the time was there was a war, and he walked around and seen children who were not basically being taken care of. So there was partial shelter.
The aftermath of war is rough on everybody, and especially children.
They were running amok all hours of the morning.
No supervision, no care.
And he saw that and decided to act and to do something about it. And that ballooned so many years later into SOS Children Villages.
How many are across the world now?
We're in over 120 countries.
Yeah.
Over that. Not all countries have a village. Some countries have programs where they help families to be better able to take care of their young.
So I have to ask you this, and this question will fall somewhere between the two of you.
Right.
Such a model, how effective are you, if you try at all, to share it with the homes that are in Jamaica, the state-run facilities that are in Jamaica? Because there are elements of what you're saying which makes such natural sense that I would imagine that how you do it and so on is something. Do you get do you do tours for other homes, or are you a part of a network of what is happening on the larger stage in Jamaica?
So tours, I can't say yes. We do tours for other children homes, but we work closely with the government because all our children are wards of the state.
Yes.
Naturally, they come to us through CPFSA, right? And I, for one, I'm a direct liaison with CPFSA. I have to work very closely with their officers. Trust me, the majority of what we do, it's similar, really, because all the other children's home, the staff there that I've interacted with, we basically do the same thing. But the vast difference, though, it's the fact that ours, it's family based.
The village concept.
The truth is, I can't speak to if it is something that the government will adapt. I really can't speak to that.
Yeah. Well, for one, I mean, the Bess FM family loves it, and as you've seen, we've tried to do whatever little we can with you, and we certainly celebrate you on this important day for the work that you are doing. And I love it too. The team that you have brought is the kind of team I like, because it is representative of the different levels of what you're doing in the organization. So I'm especially pleased to see Miss Opal. Miss Opal, I've had a lot of persons say to me, I have clothes, and some petite persons, some bigger persons. Are you in the market to receive gifts of clothing for these children? Oh, well, all right now. Don't all answer at once. What about toys? Because
for Stony Hill, our youngest right now is 12 years old.
Right.
Because you'll have persons who they do come up to us and they tell us we have some clothing items. I mean, sometimes we have to say, it's more so like nursery for children in nursery. Probably check Glenhoe or go to somewhere,
or Maxfield.
Or Maxfield, you understand? So for right now, our youngest is 12 years old up to 23, basically.
So let me ask you, is that a policy? Or
no.
Any age that you...
No.
Okay.
We had much younger children, but right now...
They've grown in your care.
Yes, we have an age.
Yeah, I know.
The 12-year-old in my house.
Yes.
Maybe going closer to 6 weeks because it's
Oh, it's like mine. It's like one of mine.
Yes. For SOS Jamaica, and we take monetary donation, trying, especially in our 50th year, we're trying to voluntary groups who want to make an impact and who want to make a difference, not only in the short term, but over the long term.
Yeah.
We're in this for the long haul.
You have to be.
We are not just trying to raise the 12-year-olds to make it to 18 and then that is it. We are providing as close as a memorable childhood as possible. We want to give them good memories. We want to put functioning citizens, contributing citizens into society, because the need is great.
The first time
So give me a few minutes and I will
bring it up. But what are you doing for this summer or this independence? We're 60 years old. This independence, only 10 years older than SOS. So what you doing for your 60th? How are you looking to celebrate that?
Well, this is a perfect opportunity to open up to collaborate with whoever wants to do something
so you're
special.
looking for partnerships.
We have a village of foodies. They absolutely love
the children.
Yes, they are growing children, so they love their food. They love to see where they live. I know they love to go on outings.
Oh yes,
supervised outings.
Yes, naturally.
They love to explore. Just think about the regular teenager or preteen or young person. They're vibrant. They're hilarious. They're talented. They're the future. And every time I get a chance to interact with them, they give me hope.
Well, I hope they give you hope to get married and have some because I can tell that this village is your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we got the signal to take a break because we've reached the 7:30 hour. Can you believe it? We've been talking for half an hour.
Wow.
All right, stay with us. We're gonna be right back.
He's coming back.
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Bess100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm.
Tune in to Culture Talk Radio Show with Kumar Fire. Come here, Stanners Boss El Tremor. Come listen to the commercial, yeah. And the man will always set the place ablaze with a good tune. They're gonna blaze up the place with fire. Every Wednesday morning from 12:30 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. And on Friday evening, 4 to 6 p.m. on Bess FM-100. You'll be getting interesting discussion, music, interviews, and live performances. Follow us on Instagram at Culture Talk JA at KULTURE Talk JA. Kumar Fire is brought to you by Alpha Whiskey.
Let not your hearts be troubled. Just believe in God Almighty and daily renew the mind. As we live in this time when fake is more valued than real, lies prefer to truth, the unnatural put above the natural. This is Lady Donna, aka Double D Don, with a new song, Almighty Jah, encouraging your people to keep the faith that God will make a way. Get your copy today. It's on all digital platforms. Lady Donna Official on Instagram, Facebook, AsujaRecords.com. For bookings, Asuja Record label at Gmail. Almighty Jah!
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's the
Bess FM, the champion.
and you've got it.
Oh, welcome back to the Morning Connection. So I have a mango that I'm going to raffle. No, it came from the tree here. So it's kind of soft on one side. But you know, I would give it to Mama. I would not give it to you young girls who need to climb your own mango trees.
Wow.
And then because I give it to the mother, you know she's going to share. You know, one of the most stirring memories of my childhood is like waiting on my mom to come home. So, of course, my mother had 7 kids. And that all, I'm number 3. So most of my childhood memories, like maybe 5 of us are there. The last 2 are much younger, but I always remember how we would kind of gather at the door when she's coming and watch her come over, and of course you're gonna be shouting because your mother come home, and then she always had something in her handbag. I've watched my mother bite her ice cement to give everybody a little piece. It don't matter what she can. Well, you know how children are. She cannot come in if she not bring something, because half the excitement is that she brought something. And I look back at it and I thought, oh my God, wherever she went, she had to remember that when she go home, there's gonna be this excitement around her foot, and they're gonna be saying, "What you bring?" If it's an icy mint, she bite it up and share it. So I have no doubt you have those kinds of experiences in the house.
Well, if you indulge me,
yes, you have a story.
I do. And I grew up. I have 2 older siblings, so I'm the wash belly, and one of the memories that come to mind is when we would get home from school. My older brother, the middle child, he would come home and make these sandwiches for us.
Is that the chef one? I want to hear this.
Because I have beef, right? So he would make these sandwiches and he'd put sausage and cheese and then sprinkle Italian herbs on top, because that's how our mother taught him, right?
Yes.
So this is years and years. We'd walk home from school and we'll have that until mom or dad comes home. Now, he is executive chef at the R Hotel. That same sandwich is on the menu. And I'm like,
what is it called?
I don't even remember.
I thought he named it.
No, purchase that if I want you to make it for me. And he's like, well, that's what happens when you have 15 years of experience.
And you gave him that experience. Because if you first
him could have killed me off.
So now we have to go to the R Hotel to experience Chef Lumley's. What is it called?
I have no idea.
I'm sure it have some exotic name.
Chef Lumley and tell Chef Lumley that he need to give you that sandwich that he needs to make.
That he practiced on when you were all in school. So you have a memory, or you have a real experience now that is mother current.
Because I grew up with my grandmother. And 4 aunts around me. I was the first grandchild, so you know how that go.
Yes.
Everything them pinch put in my mouth.
All right. So, so you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So basically, that lives within me. So I have to share with them. And my personal things, I don't left them out.
You don't have no personal things.
Like if I go out, suppose I go out and I feel like I want a catch, or because I love,
the little chocolate snacks.
So I will cut it when I come in, and I will make sure everybody
get a piece. How many kids are in your house?
I have two children.
2, yeah.
But they're adults now.
Yes, okay. So you practice on them like Chef Lumley.
Yes, with no regrets. With no regrets.
Well, let me tell you, man, I believe it's one of the most satisfying jobs you can have, to have the care of someone younger that you can pour into. And I get into teacher mode quite often myself, just wanting to share. And that's the foundation of the giving. What about you? You're not all professional. You must have some. It's the mango, Stephanie. You can't jump like that. The mangoes fall here like,
right, so
from the sky.
Me, when you mentioned the ice mint, I went straight to being in church with my mommy, because of course there's no being in church without mint ball or ice mint.
There you go.
So of course, I'm no wash belly, of course, so the ice mint or
pure wash belly up here and first granddaughter.
Yes, the ice mint or the mint ball that will share between myself and my niece and my nephew, and
anybody who look and see that something is being shared. Yeah.
Bite, piece, and share.
Let me tell you, man, absolutely, it is the right place to practice it. So it's good to know that, you all come out of family situations that motivate you one way or another to be excellent at what you're doing in the village. Let me ask you a housekeeping question, kind of. How do you choose persons to come in as caregivers? You have to do like police. They have to bring police record, and you have to check them.
Definitely, most definitely.
Tell us how you vet, especially even volunteers too, because I know a lot of people want to help, and I think they need to know that there are some standards.
Okay, so for the caregivers, for the mothers, it's. So the general recruitment, you know, you have to apply for the position, you know, after interviews, definitely police record is a requirement. We have to do that. And of course, you know, you'll be preparing meals for the children, so you have to have a food handler's permit. So, and also character reference check, all of that is done for all the staff. Not just the mothers, all the staff. Because guess what? Everyone has to interact with the children no matter what.
So is there any government regulation that stipulates any standards for you, or you have to create your own and just abide by them?
So of course, for CPFSA, there's the standard of care that we have to go by. So there are guidelines for admissions down to, you know, if there's an incident, everything.
Reporting
basically.
requirements.
And of course, for SOS, we have a number of policies, you know.
We're a university.
Yeah, and you are part of a global network.
Yes,
so you have governance.
We have local and global standards that we must adhere to. It is not an option, which is why the SOS difference stands out among other childcare institutions in Jamaica, because we do not hold ourselves to the bare minimum standard. We always try to exceed
whatever is required locally. So
requires of us.
Let me ask you a funny-ish kind of question. Suppose I have a house that I want to donate to the village, or would you co-opt and like an existing facility? You know, I'm speaking now to the persons who are thinking, this house, I'm not leaving it to my grandson, come and mash it up. And not doing so and so, and what you want to do is gift it to be included in. Do you have homes that exist like outside of the tight village unit?
Well, let me just
give me that scenario
before Hillary tells us about the transition care facility.
Yes,
we do bequests. You know, it's a very touchy topic. It's very not touchy, it's very sensitive.
Not for the person who dead and gone.
No, but we have very good relationships with our donors, our committed donors. One donor on average stays with us, contributes to us for 9 years or more. So what tends to happen is some donors, especially ones who live both in Jamaica and overseas, they may have a property and they would state in their will, my wish is for SOS Children's Village Jamaica to be gifted with X
property.
So it may be the property, it may be part proceeds from the
sale of the property. Yes.
But we give thanks. We are very, very grateful.
And I'm sure you encourage it.
Of course.
Yes.
Those donors who in life have us in their hearts, to think of us that way.
Yes.
It is something that we are deeply appreciative of, and we encourage people to speak with us, call our national office, speak to anybody, at any staff member at SOS Jamaica, and they will direct you, and you will be taken care of.
All right, so I'm gonna give some thought to it and see how I can add words of encouragement to persons, because there are many persons at a particular age and they have property and they know that property not going to be put to no good use. If SOS Children's or any children's home is open to taking care and setting it up as a home that can deal with the transition house. I love the idea of the transition house. What did we see? In the papers a few weeks ago, there was a young man complaining that he had been assaulted, sodomized repeatedly by men who picked him up off the street in Spanish Town. a homeless young man, and he said that he had been living on the streets for maybe about 5 or 6 years. He had aged out at a state institution and had no home, which I maybe got to 18. I heard you say like 23, or you get your kids through college like any other family. But he had been homeless since, and these men abused him, and he was taken in. I think he contacted a retired police officer from the neighborhood, and she got him some help, and she was appealing to persons to, if they, because he needed work, and I mean, just horrible. And, he was still in pain, and so on and so forth. So that tells me there is a need, even persons coming out of state care, where they might be inflexible, and when you're 18, on the morning that you're 18, your little bag is at the door. And
that's not so at SOS Children Villages, Jamaica.
Well, I don't know how they do it.
That clear.
Because Hillary is dying to tell us about transition houses.
Okay, so, thankfully we have some donors who, it allows for the children and the young people to acquire some form of saving while they're in care, right? So at that stage when you're transitioning into independent living, you're going to have to secure rent. You have to secure a security deposit when you're renting somewhere. You have to sleep on a bed.
You have to buy furniture.
You have to buy furniture. I mean, coming out of state care, how are you going to acquire all of that for yourself? You understand?
Yes.
So they have a bit of a saving that they can go back to try and acquire those things that they will need. I mean, grant you, not all of them have that because they have different sponsors or donors. So not everyone will have the same amount, but the truth is there are persons out there who provide that type of a support for the children in our care. And we do appeal to others to donate to us.
Yes. And it seems now that one way that persons can assist is if you have extra space in your house, if you can have independent living or part-time independence. I'm just thinking, if you say you have a 5-bedroom house and 3 bedrooms are not in use, could someone who is coming out of, who's just moving into independence, can be a boarder or a tenant or some sort as they are kind of moving their way out? Or if you have a whole house that the village can use as part of their transition. I see Hillary thinking about it deeply.
Yeah, because it's somewhat kind of touchy, really, but the truth is, if we do have citizens who, they are extending that type of support, it would be lovely.
And you'd figure it out, how to make it safe. So let me ask you now, when the kids,
I like that term.
Yes, because it's safety, and I know that has to be a primary consideration. When they are 18 years old and they're adults and able to make their own decisions, how do you what do you do for them to, do they volunteer to stay? They have to sign something? I mean, how do they just stay? Tell me what it's like. It's my 18th birthday and I'm in house number 1.
So no, it's not a contract or anything like that.
So the mother come to me and say, well, now, Minett, the time has come.
Now it's 12. Have to go at sunrise.
Yes. No. What is there a speech that I would get?
No, man, no. So of course, majority of them, when they reach 18, there's this hype and there's this, I'm an adult now, There's that, but there's also a plan that you work through with that young person, The important thing is for them to identify what it is that they want for themselves and to help them to work towards that.
Okay.
So, it's not you're 18 now, so what you gonna do? It's a plan from earlier age, because you're going through high school. After high school, what is it going to be?
So are they separated like the older kids? Do they have their own house?
So all right, so we have the family houses and we have the youth house.
Yeah.
Youth house is normally 15 and older, lives in the youth house, because of course, you know, sometimes the younger ones and the older ones might not, you know, there's a greater level of privacy.
Just like school and home.
The older kids feel they are so advanced, so much more mature, and they have different interests.
Yes,
so they don't want to mix with the younger ones, and the younger ones can be annoying and get in.
Yes, and don't come into my privacy. And don't come into my room.
The mother knows best.
Yes, they do need privacy.
They are growing. They are exploring their personalities, and they need that privacy.
And of course, it gives them room for, you know, development. So at, you know, your late teens into adulthood, you know, you're going to learn to prepare your meals, you know, that type of thing.
Keeping your room clean and so on.
You're going to learn what a budget is. You're going to learn how to shop.
So let me ask Mommy the question of the morning. Dating and relationships.
Hey.
What? How?
Well, with mine,
yes,
that I have.
Bring your mic up, yes.
You know, I talked to her about it, but I don't know if she's denying it, but it's not of her interest.
Yes, yeah. Well, some of us are late bloomers, you know. You've been sitting at this table.
She's not interested, but I think somewhere along the line,
yes,
and I could guide her and some of that.
Yeah, so you have
when she's ready.
Right, you have to be prepared for that.
Yes.
What are the official guidelines now?
So
because though they are siblings by covenant, they are not siblings by blood. So what happens? How are you able to keep them respectful of the distances and so on that need to be observed?
The truth is, we don't have that issue really, because growing up in SOS, you're brought up as
brother
your
and sister.
brother and your sister.
It would be incest.
It would be. It is not, because as you said, by blood they're not related. But the truth is, that's how they grow up.
Yeah.
It's your brother and it's your sister. It's really how they grow up.
That's wonderful.
I will kind of instill that in them.
So it's what you teach them.
Yes.
Every time we're here saying you reap what you sow. So if you're not planting the right crop, please don't wake up with your basket ready to get something different from what you've put in.
Very wise word.
Yeah. All right. So let me see where we are on this side. We have like 7 minutes. I'm consulting my producer. I want us to cool down the conversation we've been having here. Of course, I am gifting my mango to Mother Opal.
Thank you very much.
First gift of the day. I have pledged my mango.
Thank you very much.
For the no, it's Mother Opal. Try Opal.
Here, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I am going to share this mango.
And you know, like if it was in my house, somebody would be waiting on the mango seed. Somebody's gonna. It was never me, but I know how things get shared up. Mother Opal, I bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving love to our children. I want you to give me one story, the greatest joy and the most difficult experience you've had in that job.
All right, the greatest joy is seeing them grow.
Yes.
Watching them grow.
Yes.
I really don't have any disappointment, because I think I can handle it. I can deal with it.
Most challenging, not disappointment, because just challenging. Which one tests you to the limit and you have to dig deep?
Can I call names?
No.
No, I can't call names.
No, just give me an example of a thing that you have to dig deep.
For example, if I'm going out this morning.
Yes.
So, maybe I would get up like a little bit
earlier.
And I tell them from yesterday that I'm going out this morning, so I need to get up. And that one would get up and, and start to spread, and him go when you reach up here, because you have to downstairs and upstairs. Now, if I'm alone, if the aunt is not there, but when the aunt is there now, she would be in the kitchen and you upstairs, because every day basically you have to tell some of them the same thing. Get up, brush your teeth.
Oh yes.
So when you go downstairs, go and prepare the meal. Then up there,
somebody got back and do that. I know.
That part of it. Yes, that part of it.
So you have holy patience.
Yes, up the stairs, down the stairs.
Yes, saying the same thing. Like it's a surprise. Every morning you have to get up, get dressed, brush teeth, whatever. School. With my 15-year-old, when he was much smaller, you act like it's a surprise that there's bedtime. every night you have to go to your bed. There's to be no crying because you never wanted to let go of the day. What about you, Miss Hillary? Greatest joy and the most challenging.
All right, so greatest joy.
Greatest joy.
Greatest joy. You being at the village, interacting with these children, you see like some of the greatest transformations. And when I say transformation, I mean like behavior wise.
Yes.
You'll meet a youngster who, you know, on the outside is just rough edges, you know? And then for me, because this is my 5th year at Stony Hill, and I've experienced, you know, interacting with a child who very poor behavior. And today, it is a different youngster.
Person. Yes.
It is a totally different youngster. So for me, that's
the greatest joy.
That's the greatest joy.
Yes.
To experience that change in a child, you know, maturing into a young adult.
As you pull the best out of them.
Hey, that's
all
it
right.
for me.
All right.
That's
So
it
now
for me.
greatest challenge.
Greatest challenge. Listen. The reasons why children come into care.
You know, there's to be no crying on the morning connection.
Listen.
Only the host is allowed. Because I've cried, but I see you getting there. You're seeing something. What were you seeing a while ago?
Every Mother's Day, I get emotional.
Yes,
I do, and that is because, you know, they don't have their biological family. They don't have their biological mother. I get emotional every time.
I see it. And there's a hunger for it, because no matter how much love Auntie Opal give, there's that curiosity and a hunger.
And there's that trauma. But being separated from their biological family gets me.
It doesn't get easier.
It doesn't.
Yeah. And I tell you, we have to love hard. You know, I left you for last.
Yes.
So your greatest joy need to make Opal smile.
They know that you love them, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they might respond to that in a different way. Maybe they're not going to give you their hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they know, because they play with your emotions.
Yes. Greatest joy.
My greatest joy in what I do at SOS is seeing that all the sweat equity, all the long hours, I see the impact, and I know that impact it's not just for now.
It's lasting.
It's not just a job. It's a purpose that I have. I've always wanted to work to the benefit of children. And now I'm getting to live that dream. You know, fundraising in a pandemic is not for the faint of heart at all. But you know, the goodwill that SOS Jamaica has is the best part. You have people who 20 years ago came on the village for something, and then they have maybe some in-kind donations, and they just show up at the village with cases of water or a bounce house or whatever. Some people, you know, oh gosh, I have to talk about this past child. The other day I was sitting at my desk, and you know, I got mail, like actual snail mail, and I opened it.
Letter with envelope.
From a past SOS child, and he scribbled in, I know I was there, I remember the work that you did. And oh god, I was a puddle.
All right, no crying on the morning connection.
I'm not crying, but it's just that.
And my co-host, oh Lord, Pastor was here now and be mopping him up as we take the break.
But yes, the absolute best part is being able to make a positive impact in real time, no matter the challenge, no matter how
you know, I'm gonna release you from giving the greatest challenge. You know why? Because it's 8 o'clock and it's time for our break. Yes. Let me just say thank you to my guests from the SOS Children Village, Stony Hill. Yes, because there's Barretton and we're not.
And there's the national office. I'd like to say hi to my co-workers.
Well, I'm glad I reminded you.
Thank you very much.
Extended
Thank you
family
very much for having us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Tell me about the mango. That mango is a different kind of mango. The flavor of it is different. Please do not ask me. I want to say it's mongrel mango.
No, yeah,
It's a Jamaican mango.
Them call them bastard mango. It's somewhere in between.
Yes, Lowell gone political prayer. No bastard. No,
Look at them plant a East Indian tree and then it bears.
And then yes, it is the magic of nature, but it's delicious. All right, let's take our break. Yes, go ahead.
If you want to get in contact with SOS, please on social media. Visit us at SOS Children Villages _Jamaica on Instagram. You can call me at 564-668. You can WhatsApp me. You can look up on Google, call the village at Barretton, call the village at Stony Hill. We need your donation. We need your support.
Well, I'll let Miss Opal have the last word.
All the caregivers, all the
aunties, all the caregivers,
all
care facilities.
Happy Herman Minor Day to all the SOS Children Villages around the world. It's an absolute privilege to be part of this federation, and there's just so much more to come because you're going to join us at Stony Hill.
Yes, later today we're going to be live streaming from Stony Hill. We're taking the pledges. We're going to have some fun.
Yes.
And I'm to announce the number. What is the number? You wouldn't believe we had an hour.
I have it right here.
We had an hour.
I have it. So if you want to pledge support to the SOS Children Villages Jamaica, please WhatsApp or call 1-876-361-6583 and ask for Eden, because Eden is the one behind, the one behind the scenes who has been working all the magic. Thank you so much, Eden.
All right, the producer chased us off air.
Yeah, we have to go.
Hello, I'm Neil Nunes with the BBC News. Rescue teams in Afghanistan have been struggling to reach a remote mountainous area hit by an earthquake that's believed to have killed more than 1,000 people. Local officials said communicating with parts of Paktika province, the worst hit area, was especially difficult. With more, here's Anbarasaneti Rajan.
Aerial videos on social media show the severe extent of the damage to villages in the rugged and remote terrain hit by the earthquake. Afghan officials say several villages near the epicenter have been completely destroyed, but they are struggling to make contact. Communication networks have been badly hit. One woman said she had lost 19 members of her family. A number of mountain roads have been blocked and heavy overnight rain has hampered relief efforts. It's feared many families still remain buried in the rubble of their ruined homes.
European Union leaders are expected to make Ukraine an official candidate for joining the bloc at a summit in Brussels later. Ukraine formally applied to the EU after Russia invaded in February. Ireland's Prime Minister Michael Martin said he was a supporter of Ukraine's application.
Notwithstanding that Ukraine is going through a terrible, inhumane war, their cities and towns have been levelled, their people have been terrorised, the greatest humanitarian crisis since World War II. And I think today the European Union is sending a message of solidarity to the people of Ukraine, that you belong to the European family, you belong to the European Union, and the decision will be taken today to facilitate your application.
Germany has declared an alert over gas supplies because of dwindling deliveries from Russia. The ministry said if Russian gas deliveries via the Nord Stream 1 pipeline remained at current low levels, Germany would struggle to fill its reserves to 90% of capacity for the coming winter. Myanmar's deposed former leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been moved from house arrest to solitary confinement inside a large prison complex in the capital Naypyidaw. The military government said the move was in accordance with Myanmar's criminal laws. More details in this report from Jonathan Head.
Aung San Suu Kyi, one of the world's most high-profile political figures, has quite literally vanished from public view since the day last February when her government was deposed and her country plunged into a catastrophic civil war. Her several trials, where she's faced a bizarre range of charges, have been held in secret. Her lawyers have been given very little access to her, and they're banned from speaking publicly about the trials. What we do know is that she's been living under house arrest in an undisclosed location with a few close companions, and that she's in reasonably good health.
World news from the BBC. The authorities in Bangladesh are racing to get food and drinking water to millions of people stranded in their homes by flooding across a quarter of the country. Officials said thousands of rescuers had been deployed to reach those affected by the worst flooding in the northeastern region of Sylhet for more than a century. About 40 people have been killed. The head of intelligence for Iran's powerful Revolutionary Guards has been dismissed. Hossein Taib had led the intelligence agency since it was first set up in 2009. It's unclear for now why he's been replaced, but there's recently been a series of unexplained deaths of military figures and researchers associated with the Revolutionary Guards. A landmark Australian government inquiry into sexual harassment and violence against women in remote mining communities has recommended setting up a register of serial abusers. More now from our Asia-Pacific editor Celia Hatton.
The chair of the inquiry in Western Australia, Elizabeth Mettam, says she knew it would uncover horror stories about the abuse of women in mining communities, but she said she was shocked and appalled to discover the size and depth of the problem. Some women working in mining testified they'd been raped. Most had been groped. Many said they barricaded themselves in their rooms at night for fear they'd be targeted. The mining giants BHP, Rio Tinto and Fortescue admitted to the inquiry they had serious problems with sexual harassment and assault. They've promised reforms.
The National Gallery in London has announced plans to lend out 12 masterpieces for simultaneous exhibitions across the UK. It's part of celebrations to mark 200 years since the gallery opened. The paintings include Monet's The Water Lily Pond and Constable's The Hay Wain. BBC World News.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
People, are you listening?
If you choose to remain at home after an evacuation order has been issued, you do so at your own risk.
Get out! Get out! Heed the warning!
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
Are you stressed? Are you faced with trauma? Well, this is the program for you. Join Royton McLaren for Youth Resilience and Empowerment every Monday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. on Best 100.5 FM.
The station that rules the nation from state to state, country to country.
Bess FM.
We play the hits just for you.
You're listening to Best FM, the people's best friend.
Hey, hey, hey! Bess100 FM and the SOS Children's Village of Stony Hill presents an auction and telethon on June 23rd, 2022. You don't want to miss the sweet deals on designer vintage items, appliances, art pieces, and more. Go to our Instagram page at SOS_Village_auction and bid on your favorite items. That's SOS_Village_auction. Place as many bids as you can until June 23rd, the day of the event. Call us on the day to make pledges and other donations. Entertainment by the Morning Connection team. All proceeds will go to the SOS Children's Village of Stony Hill. Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Welcome to the Ligony Club. This beautiful property is nestled in the heart of New Kingston and is the single largest sporting facility in the English-speaking Caribbean. JD's Urban Pub is our resident restaurant. You can trust them with all your catering requirements. Take advantage of our excellent amenities and allow yourself to be pampered by our courteous and efficient staff in the comfort of our well-appointed and welcoming public spaces. You are being invited to make this your home away from home. Take advantage of our full-service gymnasium. Or 8 tennis courts. Feel free to wander through the gardens and enjoy the relaxing atmosphere of this oasis that remains as charming today as when we first opened our doors in 1910, and our large-size swimming pool. 6 squash courts. In the evenings, relax with us in the lobby bar and lounge. Call or visit us today. We're excited to meet you.
Good morning and welcome back. I am having a bonanza kind of morning because I've done a quick change of set, so to speak, and I now have some new people at the table. Of course, you know, it's difficult to come after the children because we just had the SOS Children's Village, which, by the way, you're my guests for later. The SOS Children's Village, we're just here, the Stony Hill Village. We had a mother, we had the village director, and we had the fundraising director who was just here. Hard act to follow, but you know, I only pick the best because I know you can match it. STEM Uprising, how's the morning?
Good, very good.
Beautiful day. Beautiful.
Yes. The Jamaican accents will tell you that these two are Jamaican born and bred, but now living in New York and doing some fantastic work. And they have managed to show you how good they are. They have managed to pull a doctor into the mix, because with us, I want you to introduce your doctor and tell us why you chose this particular doctor to be with you this morning.
We're going to introduce Dr. Tamara Mackenzie. She is passionate about what she does. When you talk about kids and talk about sick and talk about somebody who want to do more than just being there for 8 or 12 hours, this is a doctor.
And you are fortunate to have her services at the Lionel Town Hospital.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Doc, please just greet my listeners I have a group of listeners online who are in a moment going to tell me how beautiful you are. So brace yourself, and the blessing is you look like my niece.
I thank them in advance. Yes. Well, I'm Dr. Tamara Mackenzie. I'm the pediatrician for Lionel Town Hospital.
Yes.
And I have been there since the beginning of 2021. That would have been mid-pandemic.
Mid-pandemic.
Right, and that is where I actually met the STEM uprising team.
Yes. All right, so Akiba.
Yes.
Because I have to say a name. I mean, I can't believe a Jamaican mother down in where Clarendon named her daughter Akiba. Because it is just a prophetic, it modern, it ancient. There is just such a beautiful name. Mrs. Akiba Williams, welcome to the Morning Connection. And you look well rested. These two flew in yesterday, so they're in semi-quarantine. That's why we're doing it outdoors.
Okay.
I want you, the mother of STEM Uprising, to tell me a little bit about your organization.
STEM Uprising was found in, my husband and I came up with the idea to do something more for Jamaica, try our best. Because, we can't really reach everyone, but we try to reach as much as
many. Yeah.
So we came up with the idea of launching a non-profit. We weren't sure how it would have turned out, but we put things in plan. They said, I am a strong man, there's always a stronger woman. So I pick up the pace. I do what a mother would do, and you put things in place. And STEM Uprising was found in 2017, registers in 2018. We had our first blood drive at the Lionel Town Hospital in that same year, 2018. We also had our first back to school at the Water Lane Community Center. So from there, STEM Uprising been getting like other hospitals like Percival Junior Hospital want to be a part of what we're doing, because wherever STEM Uprising land,
it grows.
Yes.
Well, so your husband, I want your husband to tell me why Lionel Town.
Well, it's obvious. I was born there. I was born there, and I witnessed some things at first hand that I didn't like. So my father had said to me, anything you're doing, find a solution. There's always...
Don't just not like it. Do something about it.
And don't complain. If you find a solution, you start to do something. You say if you stand up, that's the only way you're going to run. So, yeah. You can't sit and run, so... we come up with...
You got to get upright and step into the position. It is uncanny. And those who have been listening to the program since morning, let me tell you, Wayne was not listening. But I just sent him the link before he walked in because he wanted to share it with some others. But I got to tell you that point he just made, when you see something that disturbs your spirit, step into it and do what you can to change it. That's what we were talking about earlier, because I looked at what happened in Cocoa Peace, and I was saying that community should be in deep reflection right now and saying, did I see something? Did I miss a sign? Because you hear them saying things which tells you that there were cries for help and persons did not respond. So the idea that each person in whatever environment you find yourself should be wanting to take responsibility. That's at the base of STEM Uprising, wanting to make a change in the things that you saw. As I was speaking, I could see Dr. Tamara looking like that means something. What caught your attention?
The hope that others would take on this very same spirit so that we can have basic embetterment of our environs. And I'm not just talking from a health perspective. I mean, it spreads across all of the other
Everywhere.
systems that exist in the country.
Were you listening to my program on Tuesday?
No,
I know you weren't. Because I'm going to say, one of the reasons I repeat these things is because I want you to know that you're not alone with the thought that you're having. Every thought that you express, somebody else has had it. On Tuesday, I was talking about justice. And recognizing that when somebody in the middle of saying we want better road and we want water and we want so and so just admitted to say we want justice, it's because in our hearts all of us know that justice is not about what happened to you in court or with the police or whatever. The administration of everything, every relationship that you're in, there is justice. If I sit too close to you and don't respect your space, you want justice. And it is a cry for justice. So the point you just made about really justice, that's what we were talking about on Tuesday, recognizing that there's justice in health, there's justice in giving, there's justice in taking, there's justice in participating. As you have done, you have created a charity and you call it STEM Uprising. What does STEM mean?
Meaning of STEM is striving together, empowering mankind.
Nice.
And the way we came up with STEM, my husband and I, we have 7 lovely children.
How many?
I'm sorry, how many? And almost 8 grandkids, and we're very proud. So STEM Uprising, we choose a letter from about 4 of the kids' name and we put it together and we sit around the table with the kids and we're like, okay, so we take S from Shanique, T from Tiffany, E from Emmanuel, and M from Michael. And they said STEM, and we're like, what would that mean? And we debate. The kids are so involved.
Yes.
Our daughter Tiffany was the youngest blood donor. She is eager, always helping. Even though she's in college studying for law, she makes sure that she do her part. And that is something that we want them to know, that you have to learn to give back.
I need to share a nugget. Everybody try to find the fountain of life and try to figure out, well, how do I live longer and look young? Apparently it is to start a charity. Because when I hear talk about grandchildren and I look at the 2 people who are at the table, okay, Tamara, you tell me.
My darling, I have no. But we're not going to discuss my age or how long I've been.
Oh, not mine either.
No.
But I need to start a charity. What it says.
Can I ask how long you been a doctor?
For 20 years.
See? And apparently you also need to do medicine.
No, I promise you that is not the way to go for you. It is not.
The list is growing. So, yes.
You know what? For me personally, starting STEM Uprising and giving back and seeing the impact and the joy, it just make my heart, you say your heart grows big?
Yes.
Extra big.
And when your heart grow extra big, and all that fresh oxygenated blood, everything look younger.
Yes.
I tell you, that is the way to go. So you've chosen Lioneltown because that's your birthplace, but I see that you have extended to Percy Junior Hospital. Was that just the neighboring parish get envious, or there's a connection to Manchester as well?
Well, one of my favorite lady, who is my paralegal, that's Min Alex.
I know that name.
You know, yeah.
I think I know her.
She's the one who helped me with the foundation, and she said, you gotta do where I'm from.
In fact, the very hospital in which she was born.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
She said, you gotta do where I'm from. And from there, we went there and we was impressed with the staff, CEO, Mr. Nicholson, but Dr. Chang, a friend of mine said to me, all Dr. Chang need is a wing. He's an angel on earth.
On earth, yeah. Oh, you know Dr. Chang as well. So how is it now that Dr. Tamara from Lioneltown and Dr. Chang at Percy Junior are best friends? Is there a network or that?
Actually, we did our first degrees.
I'm gonna beg you to hold the microphone a little closer.
We both did our first degrees in Cuba. Not that we had met there either, because I was a few years ahead of him. But for a short time, I was at Percy Junior Hospital for 3 years, and there I met the angel.
Yeah,
and he's also my son's godfather. Yes.
Oh, so it's real family connection.
Yeah, more than family.
Yeah.
Because my mom.
Okay, so I clearly you have the personality as well as the training for the business that you're in. But I'd like for you to talk a little bit about what kind of environment you're offering services in, because a charity being involved, and there may be other charities that want to participate. What do you see around you in both Lionel Town proper and the hospital itself?
All right. Lionel Town has its challenges. It is a vastly under-resourced community. That being said, you can imagine that it extends to the hospital as well. And when you have bigger players like Mapen Hospital, that's in very close proximity,
it's a competition for resources.
Nature.
Yeah.
And of course, because they're larger and they have more resources naturally, they tend to benefit more from philanthropists and donors, etc.
Yes.
So I'm particularly thankful to groups like STEM, for which they are from the soil, from Clarendon, that they empathize, sympathize, and understand the needs that exist. The community has its challenges, depravity being one of them. We had industry, for example, Money Musk was there and they had that whole estate going, but you know, it's been closed down for some years
while,
now.
yes.
So that has taken away some of the employment.
And the income.
Right,
the money.
Employment and as such, the income that would have prevailed in the citizens there. So we are...
So it's mostly a farming community right now, is that it?
Farming and fishing, because
fishing,
we have
by this
Rocky
by
Point
the sea.
and Portland Cottage and all of those communities who depend predominantly on fishing for income. So we do have unique challenges.
But it's a public hospital.
It is.
So persons coming in don't pay for services, but there's some minimum charge that they have to meet typically, or...
That has changed for some time now. The governments have changed that.
Previous administrations.
Right. So there is no cost, and we have a lot of... We are really trying with healthcare, but the truth is, because we are under-resourced, you have basic limitations, ambulance limitations. So yes, we have one ambulance, but imagine if you have two emergencies.
You have to choose where to go.
And
those are tough choices.
Right. You don't want to be making those calls at all.
And then I can see that the problems in the environment would naturally be reflected in the hospital.
And the health of the population as
absolutely.
well.
Yeah, you know, I had a dentist friend who said he can always tell when Jamaicans are going through hard times. He gets no business. The teeth are not a priority.
No, they're not.
Yes, nobody's coming to look after their teeth when they have to be buying food. So I get what you're saying. How has this charity been a blessing to Lionel Town?
Well, let me tell you, I love them. So last year, in the heights of COVID, we had a high-flow nasal oxygen, but it stopped working, and we had challenges to get it fixed. Now you know a high-flow nasal oxygen is what we use. All right, let's not get into the clinical aspect of it. But
everybody couldn't breathe and needed to breathe.
Thank you.
Yes, so
and
that piece of equipment.
Nasal oxygen is what, because typically your wall oxygen and the oxygens that we have based on the tanks, they can't exceed a particular amount. But high flow can give us all the way up to 60 liters of oxygen per minute, when you would have been limited to about 15 before. My loves.
Yes.
Last year, in the heights of it, when it was the worst we'd ever seen. People were dropping like flies. They offered one to us, and I'm telling you, I cannot tell you guys how many lives you've saved.
Please do not cry. Did you hear me tell the others there's to be no crying?
Because see, those pimples and my fears are very, very close.
All right, so the producer is giving you a break, so we can take a break so we can cool down on set.
I was just gonna. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not looking at you because I could see that
we're on break. Yes. Not yet.
What should a taxi service do for you? On One-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Bess FM, keep listening.
JPS spin and win. Get ready to spin and win of niceness. Yes, when you go prepaid with JPS, weekends for 2 shopping spree and more. Switch or sign up for prepaid for winnings galore. Go prepaid with JPS and top up with 120 kilowatt hours or more for a chance to win in the spin and win draw every month. Or you could be the grand prize winner of $2 million. Go prepaid and done. Visit jpsco.com for more info. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
It's my station. Moving.
It's my station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM, keep listening.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
This is your beloved Pastor Percy from the Morning Connection. Support our commitment to Jamaica by joining us on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 when we pray for the nation. Show us you care. Advertise with us. For more information, call our offices at 876-276-8935.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with...
Good morning and welcome back. Speaking in a somber tone, may I just say, we did another set change. I said I would explain that the doctors, they gone off to cry. No, the three persons who were here just now, frontline workers, all of them. One from Jamaica, Dr. Tamara, the other two, New York. So you can imagine they had started to talk about the containers of COVID, those who didn't make it. So I've sent them off to cool down because, of course, I know I had Ruthlyn Johnson sitting in the wings looking beautiful in red. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Our JPS partner continues to deliver. Let me tell you something. This must be some kind of cosmic punishment that I am falling in love with JPS. It is not right.
Yes.
It is not right, people. I'm telling you. No, it's not right. Don't try to...
Energy, good energy. The company that gives you convenience.
I know, even the producer is surprised. If the producer says he's aghast, JPS has won. No, people. Listen, I have been a staunch opponent of JPS for many years. Many years. But between, well, I've got to say, but now you have just been the icing on the cake. Welcome to the Morning Connection, Miss Ruthlyn.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, well.
And I'm so happy to hear that you are being...
I fall in love. Can you imagine?
Yes,
Tell you.
Evangelize, you know.
You are definitely evangelizing on this program. When I invited, when I pitched my proposal, or when the team pitched to Winsome and said, do something with us, and she said yes, and she made it possible, I never envisaged this is where it was going. I certainly thought I would be converting JPS. JPS, convert me. What a something.
Be converted too.
Yes.
So welcome. Come along, producer.
Yes, you gotta work on the two producers. But you've been doing some marvelous work in the field.
Right.
We've had your colleague come to us at about 3 times, I think. About 3 weeks. We had Marilyn McDonald, who has spoken about the social intervention initiatives, and of course we had Winsome visit with us at least twice. Now Winsome is a hard act to follow on any day, and this morning she has sent you to me, so that tells me now she kick it up a serious notch. Tell us about your portfolio, because it starts with customer service. And I know Jamaican customers are not easy, myself included.
You're going to see me today for the first time and realize who
the voice behind the service.
So I'm Ruthlyn Johnson.
Yes.
I'm the customer service area manager for Area East. Area East is Kingston.
Oh Lord.
St. Andrews.
Yes.
And St. Thomas.
My area. Oh, really east, for true.
So I have
the land of the rising sun.
Largest number of customers.
Yes.
I have the uptown customers and I have the customers.
So you have diversity.
So I have a very interesting group of people to relate to. And then because I'm based at the Ruthlyn Road office,
yes,
I see customers from all across the country.
Oh, true, because the journey to come into the head of the beast.
Yes, and, and a lot of people think Ruthlyn Road is the head office. I don't know why.
No, that's the head of the beast.
If they come to Kingston to do something from Westmoreland.
Yes, and they just want to stop by.
So anywhere they come from, you know, I'm going to stop by the JPS office and do something today. So I see customers from everywhere.
You know, I think it is a great sleight of hand by your corporate head office that Ruthlyn office is perceived to be the head office.
I don't know if we even did anything.
No.
I don't think it was intentional. Somehow persons just think that this is where you go for everything. And sometimes when they're there, when they come there, they actually they really should be at the head office.
At the head office.
Them, no, this is not the head office. So weird. So where is the head office then?
We just assume it's where Miss Ruthlyn work, at the head office. But tell me, what is the, as you know, the expression Grundnorm came into my head. That is like out of sociology in the...
Which you're going to have to explain to me what that means.
The Grund, basic, base, foundation, norm, principle.
The basic principle of?
Customer service, of JPS's customer service. Well, throw that German word out of your head.
So the basic principle of customer service for JPS, and I know there are going to be some people right over there going
writing it down so they can sue you.
It's not being cynical, like really. The thing is, we really, really care about our customers. We make... You heard me laughing?
I know this. Why are people laughing?
And I know this. You heard what I said. They're going to be some stinning. And they're going to be reactive.
Yes.
But it's okay.
But can I but can I tell you one or two diners in the pavilion looked up? I think that the one lady is looking.
And I'm going to repeat it.
You care about your customers.
About our customers.
Because if we die, you don't get any money.
The challenge is I'm not listening to Minett right now.
But it's true, you gotta keep us alive.
Is that it's an expensive commodity.
Yes.
And unlike your watch, because people go and buy a $1 million, $2 million watch, right? And they wear it.
Yes.
And it's okay, and they feel the value of it. The thing is that you take JPS's service for granted.
Yes,
So
that is
only
true.
when you don't have it that it becomes a problem. So if there's an outage or if you get disconnected, God forbid, then you have a problem, because outside of that, you really take it for granted, because you wake up, you turn on the light comes on, you plug in your phone and you charge it and it's okay. Your child goes on the laptop or the game, whatever game machine they have, and they play the game. So it's a commodity that's taken for granted. So because it's so expensive, it's an issue. Like, why should it be so expensive when it's something that you don't even, it's not tangible.
Yeah.
You can't see it, you look at the watch and you see the watch, but you don't see the electricity. So it doesn't have that kind of value that it should have for persons. Yet we are the company that gives you convenience. We give you the opportunity to have romance. I mean, you turn on that love music, you get your thing going.
I know, most people like romance in the dark.
You shouldn't be. You should see what you're doing. You exercise. You have those machines that help you to exercise.
Yes, and keep track of everything.
Basically,
it makes life easier. So you are zeroing in
critical to what you do.
Yeah,
because of that, we care about the customers, because we always want to make sure that you have power. So even when we do a maintenance outage, persons think that we turn off the power. We're maintaining the thing to make sure that you get the service.
Absolutely.
And then there are other times when somebody hits down a pole.
Yes.
But people just always think we turn off the power.
That
Why would we
JPS.
turn off the power?
And it gone all day.
If we don't turn off the power, the meters would not be working. It means we're not making money. So why would we turn off the power?
That's true. All of it requires, mature understanding and reflection, but you're zeroing in on the necessity of electricity. It is one of those commodities that is now really essential to life in a modern society. It's right there. In fact, as I said, the only thing that is running neck and neck with it probably is data, internet access. I mean, because water, if you stand up long enough, rain will fall and you can.
I love this lady. Stand up long enough,
rain will fall on you. Well, some can hire a few dancers, but you're right. It is a necessity for modern living, and therefore both the provider and the customers have to have a better understanding of how you keep it going.
My view and my approach, even from my portfolio, is really to get customers to have an understanding. For me, it's a relationship.
Yes.
So you and I, Minett, we're in a relationship.
Absolutely. And
it's just that sometimes you don't understand. You got into this relationship with me and you don't understand some things that you should.
Right.
So I have a responsibility to you, and there are responsibilities that you have to me as well in this relationship. So when I get persons who are angry and annoyed and think, my job is to educate them.
Yes, because that means they've been disappointed in the relationship.
Because sometimes they're complaining about stuff that there's something that they didn't do. And it's for me to get them to understand the nature of the relationship, because especially now that we're online, we're doing a lot of things online. You're even setting up accounts right now. You're not even going face to face.
Right.
So you don't get an opportunity to talk to somebody to say, okay, what are some of the things I should know about this relationship?
So for you, the human element in the relationship continues to be important.
It's important for me. I don't know if there's anybody else in JPS who it's not important to. It's important to me.
How do you strive to maintain that contact in the increasingly digital age? Because I tell you, I've called the different lines and I get the recordings, because everybody's using an IVR of some sort. And then there's the automated response and the music that plays for half an hour. And I mean, by the time, if it is deliberate, it works. By the time you hear a human voice, you're just overjoyed.
All right.
So how are you maintaining that element of the human contact?
So we maintain the human element by having a call center that is
real people.
That has real people sitting in there. The challenge that you experience, Minett, comes from the time of day most times when you try to make contact. I find that when customers call us between, say, 8:30 to like 4 o'clock, it's a long queue.
Yes.
You're waiting in a queue. If you call us after, say, 7 o'clock,
I'm first in the line.
you get through very quickly.
So
I encourage customers to do that. At the same time, the IVR does have automated responses because there are persons among us, like maybe your producer sitting over there who is on her phone from the time I come here. Maybe she doesn't want to talk to a person.
Yes.
She just wants to say, here, press 1 for that, press 2 do everything, and she's gone.
And you're gone.
You and my other friend here may want to talk to a warm body. So they are there, but...
She's making some generation type comments here.
I like face-to-face. I'm a communicator, so I love face-to-face interaction because nothing beats looking in your eyes and realizing that you don't understand what I'm saying so that I can clarify. you can
close the gap.
So yes, we do have those persons there. And even on our digital platforms, for example, on the mobile app, we do have live chat on the mobile app where you can actually talk to somebody back and forth, just as how you do on WhatsApp.
Yes.
And then we do our mobile offices where we go out in our communities so we can meet with people. They say press flesh. We can go out and meet with persons. They can talk to us. So we do have that as well. We do maintain.
Can I ask you, are you experiencing, are you having like an aging population of customers or you're...
Yes, we do.
Yeah, because I just want to know how you're experiencing that transition to the more digital experience for customer service.
We're having a challenge with our senior citizens.
There's no reason to laugh, but I could just tell that
it's interesting. You have a few in the mix who are wanting to say that I'm on top of things. Coming in and saying, I want to learn about this app thing and I want to do it. And then I'm going to ask my grandchild to assist me with it. So you have a few of those. But then the majority of them really they're not angry, they understand that the world has moved direction and they're a little bit worried about themselves. So they do try, but they still come in person. And sometimes I'm concerned about them because some of them are really in a state where they shouldn't be out on the road.
Yes, but GPS is important.
And I worry about them, how they manage to navigate their way
even
around
just
the streets,
public transportation and the roadways.
But they do come in our office, in fact, of all the areas that we have. So, we have area northeast, west, and south. Area east, my area, gets the most
foot traffic, people coming in.
The elderly coming in, despite things going in a
digital,
we do accommodate them because we have seats for them,
right? And we do care and show the care.
For the most part, we have somebody who is assigned to give them face-to-face service and not force them to go
into the digital route. Right. One of the I found it mildly entertaining arriving at the airport, like in the immigration hall, and seeing the digital kind of check yourself in stations and watching the people looking at it like
wondering what is this?
Why is it here? So I go close, stand by it.
Like, kind of thing.
I know. Shouldn't say it, but
it's an interesting time.
It is an interesting time in which we're living.
I think of what's going to happen like in 2029, 2030.
Yeah,
am I going to be able to
10, 15 years from now.
I'm honestly thinking that we're going to be able to touch her over there, and she's in Linstead. Things are going at a pace that is wake up this morning, and this thing that just came yesterday and is no longer.
It's obsolete.
It's outdated.
Obsolete.
In a flash. So it's something to think about.
So that leads me to, in your customer service portfolio, you obviously have to be addressing these challenges that come with an aging population and fast moving technology, and even some of the environmental issues, reducing your carbon footprint in a country with an economy that will not allow persons to rapidly transition to electric cars or to, solar panels and so on. I'm curious just to get your perspective on how you handle these shifts and make sure that the customer whom you care about, and I accept that because you converted me, the customers whom you care about are able to keep pace with you, not get left behind, and at the same time still be responsive to some of the pressures. I know summer is here. Even myself, I'm looking at the AC longingly and saying, I need more of you. But how are we going to do it? How do you manage some of those areas, and what advice are you sharing with us this morning?
The thing is, for customers, is for them to understand that, first and foremost, let's not pretend, let's not hide away. Electricity is expensive. And it's more so expensive now since the
war in Ukraine and supply chain problems.
Right.
Generally after
pandemic.
Right now,
electricity is about $66 per kilowatt.
Moving from what?
Moving from about 40 something.
Oh my.
Yes. So it's gone there.
Yes.
The fuel rate on your bills this month is $31 and change. And that has actually climbed a little bit. In February, it went up to $36 per kilowatt. That's for your fuel rate.
Just for fuel.
That's for fuel on your bill. And it means the thing not cheap. It means that if you had paid like about $8,000 for, say, 210 kilowatts last year, this time, you're probably paying almost about maybe $13,000, $14,000.
Yeah.
Same. Yes,
you have done nothing except got older.
Exactly, and that's why I tell people, because they come in and they say, I've not done anything different. And I say, I know, you probably have not done a thing different, except that the prices of fuel and the conversion of the US dollar have changed, and so you are now paying more for maybe the same amount of electricity. I tell my customers also, you will never pay the same figure for your light bill if you use the same exact amount of kilowatt hours every month. You'll never pay the same amount. It will either be a little bit
more or less,
or a little bit more.
Those variables are not within
every month, and why it changes, you will never, because the fuel rate changes every month and the US dollar value changes every month, right? Now, because of all of that, so you can't control the prices. And if you don't have solar, and if you don't have a river running by, you're not using hydro, and if you don't have 10 cows in your backyard, so you're using biogas kind of thing, it means you're tapping onto our grid. And it means you have to understand the relationship. So what I want you to do is use energy wisely. So it's summertime. Summer is coming up. The AC is going to be the favorite thing. I hear you say you're looking at it with that longing desire.
Oh, yes. And then when I wake up early in the morning, and it's still on, I'm like, oh, dear God, we didn't.
No, up to the timer. Where's your timer?
Yes, but I wake up. When you wake up, you're not even quite sure what time it is. But your first thought is, have I burned too much electricity while I was sleeping?
All night, I can tell you, Minett, it's not very pretty.
No, it is not all night. It's real early morning.
What I do these days, because the mornings are hot as well. So while I'm getting ready,
Yes, to get the excellence in place.
I have a fan now, a roving fan in my house. So you can stay there. I carry the fan around with me. So when I'm in the bathroom doing the titivating and stuff, the fan is plugged in right there and doing the thing. So I'm under the fan, and when I move to the bedroom, I carry that. I have a roving fan because I have an AC. I have AC in my house, but I don't.
Yes, you can.
I know the cost of electricity. I don't want to pay for it, and I always tell people, even though they like to talk about JP's employees get discount, but the difference is the discount come out of my salary before I get my salary.
Yes.
So I don't have an option to say like some people are going to pay. Yes. Pay the light bill later. I have to pay it. It comes out up front.
So wisely.
Let's talk about
using wisely.
Of electricity.
Yes.
It's summertime. COVID was here, so we were locked up in the house. I want us to come out, go outside. Everybody said we're outside. I want us all to go outside and enjoy yourself. So take yourself outside and start enjoying the outdoors. So that means you're not in the house utilizing all them things that are in the house. Go outside with the children, have some fun. Stop using the air conditioning units. Cut down on the opening of the refrigerators, because the children, when they're at home,
they want all kind of icy.
The more you open the refrigerator, the more warm air gets into the chamber, the harder the fridge works. So you want to cut that down. You also want to pack ice and juices and stuff in an igloo. Invest in a
a small igloo. Yes, pack everything in there. Certainly a good suggestion.
You get the fridge, and then you just take things from the igloo.
Right.
It means you're cutting down on how much warm air enters the chamber of the refrigerator, so it doesn't work over time. Those pool pumps, you need to know that they pool pumps, any kind of pumps you have.
Yes.
They usually burn a little bit of electricity. So you want to probably go to the beach instead and leave the pool.
Can you imagine summers when you close your pool? The beach, you start a whole new argument there now, because people gonna start ask which beach, because the government don't sell all the beaches.
There are a few.
We're gonna have to do a whole show on what beach you can find.
Go to the beach.
Yes.
Cut down on the amount of time you spend in the pool. And we're not telling people not to enjoy the things that you have at home for convenience, but I want us to have a consciousness where I will decide that I want to pay for it. For example, if you decide, Minett, that you're going to use your AC,
know that we're gonna
on the AC, but
and swap out something else.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
So that's what I want you to be conscious about how you use this stuff. You also want to not leave the fans just running, because fans don't cool rooms. Fans blow hot air from around you. So leaving a fan on in a room is a waste of electricity.
If no one is there.
If no one is in there, you let it blow on you when you're in the room. So turn it off as soon as you're walking away. And then when you come back, it blows the hot air from around you. That's what a fan does. People like to leave it in there thinking it's cooling on the room. The room is just going to be, it's just swirling the hot air on around. So don't leave your fan on. And then you want to make sure that because you're on the outside also, the television sets are not running. And you wanna keep the children away, and the gadgets are also not operating. So, for this summer we're saying unplug and chill out outside.
Unplug and chill out.
Both you and the appliances, and chill out on the outside. We want you to go feel the sand in your toes.
That's a nice campaign, actually.
Enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Grounding yourself. You're putting your bare feet on the sand and feeling the sand. She's looking at me intently, because she's going to be doing this. Yeah.
Selfies. She'll do selfies on the beach.
Take time to connect with your youth.
Yes.
Take time to connect with the youth. Go to house and go buy some ice cream and sit down and talk with the youth. Find out what are your dreams and goals.
Yes. Let Devon House burn the electricity and pay the bill.
And use
other people's electricity.
Over there. They're using
lights and
right now. Paying for it.
No, but
they're paying in their subscription.
They definitely will be paying in the price of the food.
Couples,
yes,
with Huzzy,
yes,
and have a meal at the restaurant
and use their electricity.
Connect, bring on the intimacy, bring on the connection between you and the Huzzy, and burn for them.
Yes, I'm liking the other man's electricity.
So we want you to unplug and unplug your appliances. So unplug yourself and get yourself.
I have to ask you, what that unplug campaign. I love the fact that it is giving a priority to healthy activities, and you could choose any kind of campaign.
Yes.
What's the thought process behind a campaign like that? What did you all sit in a room and say, this is...
Well, I must confess I wasn't in the room.
Yes.
But if I know Winsome and my team, bro, I know that they would want to connect the communication with something that's relatable. And it's the fact that we were in COVID and people are really excited about this. We outside content.
Yes.
Outside. I know they want it. They would want to connect.
Yeah, it has heart.
Outside to benefit you in terms of reducing the amount of money that you're spending.
No, it has heart, and I would say it is a tick in the box when you say you care about your customers, wanting healthy Jamaicans, wanting persons to find alternatives. No, I think you converted them. No, that is a good campaign.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a good campaign.
It's really to have our customers use electricity, enjoy the benefit of it, and not scream and bawl when they get their bills. And just to make a plug right here, that if you want to be able to manage yourself even better, we have the prepaid option for customers.
Oh yes, I'm loving that one. I just haven't found my way onto it yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I gotta convince the team.
It works. Customers who go prepaid usually attest to the fact that they spend,
they feel greater
less on electricity, because you decided
conscious.
You purchased $6,000 worth of credit and you put it on your meter and you said to the children, let me tell you something in here. I'm not spending $1 more.
Wear it, Margaret.
Because you have the little device that you can watch, you're seeing your 200, 199, 198. When it reaches a point, you said, don't open the fridge again. No, we're not washing no clothes until next week. We're washing
when we put on more. Yes.
Do not run the washing machine, and people are able to manage themselves. And because of that, when it comes down to the point now where I'm hearing the beep beep beep, mean is it low? them say, all right, we're going to wash with our hand. we're going to plug out the fridge.
You find new ways to do old things.
At 6 in the morning.
Yes.
And they hold on to that little bit and they make it serve them.
Yes.
So people do attest to spending less rather than just using, and then we get to be like, yeah.
I like the fact that it's giving genuine power and in the hands, and it's teaching a bit of financial literacy too, because the value of $1 just take on more. Right. Yes, yeah. Those are real excellent points. I'm just thinking. No, I got the break signal, so
we're on a break or we're done. Which one?
I think we're done. What time is it?
Done already?
Listen to me. It's been 30 minutes.
Get ready for talk.
It means you have to come back.
I could do part 2.
Yes. Listen, we work hard at making sure that everybody wants to come back.
Right, because I'd love to get into, the specifics, how much this refrigerator runs and how much it would cost.
No, you have to come back, please.
So I can come back to give the specifics about the different appliances.
Yes, please. I would love that. I mean, every time Winsome teach something here, people are transformed by the knowledge of how you can exercise.
Build the relationship that we have with our customers, and that's something that I want.
And it means you would invest in me, because I'm opening the door to the ears of the listeners who, So you see, a partnership.
Right.
Thank you.
All around.
Yes. It's been a real pleasure.
Remember, unplug, enjoy outside, and
see, like what we are doing.
Less on,
we are enjoying outside.
Right.
All right, please stay with us. We're going to take a short break and then we'll be right back.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
It's my station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Bess FM. Keep listening.
You good? You can get better. Spread the word. Straight Up gets better on Bess FM. Straight Up Jerry Small, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays on Bess100 FM. 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. I'm your host, Robin Jerry Small. The numbers are 279-8473, 279-8473, and 619-1508. 619-1508. Also streaming live on the internet. Bess FM, Straight Up, Robin Jerry Small.
If you got to feel it, you got to be clean. You got to make it straight. You can't be lean. Share the joys togetherness can bring. To the true soul, you just have to cling, and then you will feel it, you'll feel the soul inside of you.
Let not your hearts be troubled. Just believe in God Almighty and daily renew the mind. As we live in this time when fake is more valued than real, lies prefer to truth, the unnatural put above the natural. This is Lady Donna, aka Double D Don, with a new song, Almighty Jah, encouraging your people to keep the faith. God will make a way. Get your copy today. It's on all digital platforms. Lady Donna Official on Instagram, Facebook, AsujaRecords.com. For bookings, Asuja Record label at Gmail. Almighty Jah.
Warning, when there is a hurricane warning, button down, tie down, everything. Lift appliances and furniture off the ground and secure your valuable items. If you want a boat, secure it on land and turn on your yard if you a fisherman. Make sure you turn off every breaker, and before you sleep, turn off your generator. Flooding, that is a real danger. If you live river, Gully Bank, River Bank, or low line here. Yeah. If you see flood waters are rising, get out, get out. Heed the warning. If your land starts slipping and a sliding, get out, get out. Heed the warning. Hurricanes gonna happen, so be prepared.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Hey, hey, hey! Bess100 FM and the SOS Children's Village of Stony Hill presents an auction and telethon on June 23rd, 2022. You don't want to miss the sweet deals on designer vintage items, appliances, art pieces, and more. Go to our Instagram page at SOS_Village_auction and bid on your favorite items. That's SOS_Village_auction. Place as many bids as you can until June 23rd, the day of the event. Call us on the day to make pledges and other donations. Entertainment by the Morning Connection team. All proceeds will go to the SOS Children's Village of Stony Hill. Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
All right, welcome back. And thank you for staying with us. And I see that the STEM team is getting some whole heap of love. Is this family because it's a Michelle Williams?
Oh.
I'm going to accept that it may be family. Maybe, but lots of love we're getting. Yeah, and well, Miss Ruthlyn got some love too, but you know, she was the powerhouse that was here. And you made a good connection with JPS, didn't you? Welcome back, STEM.
Oh yes, surely did.
Yeah.
JPS gonna help us to help the community.
I have no doubt they are doing some interesting things, and just like the partnership we were talking about before you all collapsed in tears and had to leave the set. And I'm glad I see some smiles now. We were talking about the way you partnered with Lionel Town. A lot of our corporate citizens are now seeing that their survival is tied up with the well-being of their customers, and they have to care about what's happening in the communities. They can't just expect you to, you know, pay the bills and move along as if life isn't happening around you. So at the hospital and with what you do, obviously, you see that firsthand. I mean, all the people who will never take a holiday, if them fall sick, they gotta make time to heal. The partnerships we were talking, Dr. Tamara, before we left, we were talking about the partnership and how STEM has been a blessing, and you spoke about that one piece of equipment.
They continue to be a blessing, actually, because in August we have a blood drive and a fun day for children.
Yes.
That day I'm going to dedicate the entire day to doing school medicals. We're going to be doing health checks. Yes. So by extension, we'll have, you know, bounce about, giving toys and books and backpacks. And we're hoping that we can extend it to some care packages. You know, once it is that the budget extends to it, we hope that we can create care packages. So not only are they going to come away with
some useful items for back to school,
right?
But they will have some like sanitary and well-being.
You know, we're hoping to give food
in the care package. Yes,
because that is another focus of ours. It's nutrition. They could not have been included in the last nutrition symposium I had, which I had one in April, at the end of April.
So I'm liking the sound of that. It sounds like you are extending your medical care to getting some community capacity building, and so you're focusing on nutrition. I guess you see the children come in, and you know, children not cooking for themselves or buying food, so it must mean something not working right in the home. And you innovate and host your own symposium.
Oh yes,
right there in Lionel Town,
right there on the hospital
compound,
right there on the grounds. Yes.
Okay, and so when is the next one?
That's December. Yes. It's December the 14th that we're going to have that one.
Sound like STEM, have it in their diary.
Yes.
And you know them love come home.
Yes, we love Jamaica.
It's a bonus to come home.
Yes, so at that day we'll be doing this whole Santa Claus bait and giving toys to the kids. So what we do is we combine it with my clinic days so that the children benefit, because Akiba is quite passionate about the children. And everybody will benefit, because nutrition and health education is important. So that's what we want to broaden the base a little bit. Let's try and avoid persons coming to us unwell at the hospital.
Yes, catch it before. Prevent is better than cure.
Right. Prevent.
So when is
medicine.
Let's get the date of the back to school open clinic day. What date is that?
The 19th of August.
19th of August.
And there's a blood giving drive. Let's not forget that.
So bring your blood.
Man. Come with your veins. Come well hydrated.
Yes.
We're not just, on that day, we're not just having a blood drive and a back to school, but we're having goodies. Wherever STEM goes, there's always goodies. So
well, let me see where the goodies are, because STEM is here.
You're not coming and leaving
empty-handed. Yes.
We always have gentle to use clothes. We have toys, essential, whatever we can get our hand on.
You bring it.
Donors donate. We will bring it.
All right. So it's also a good day then for persons who want to partner with you to find you and make a pledge or make themselves, you know, available to be a part of what you're doing.
Most definitely.
Okay. Dr. Tamara, you wanted to wrap up on that. I can tell.
No. I leave that to them. Because, right, I leave that to them because I have now been included in their group as one of their volunteers. So
we welcome you.
All right, the Mr. Williams, you grew up in Lionel Town. At what age did you leave?
20.
At age, so you got your manhood. I mean, you were a young adult getting out.
Yes, when I leave early, they have 2 kids, so I was a man.
At 20, you had 2 kids.
Oh,
so
sorry.
that explains. So yeah, you were a man facing the responsibilities of father as well. What has it meant for you to be able to return to Lionel Town, and what changes you see, and how are you influencing some of what's to come in the future for your community?
Well, what kind of influenced me is I've been working in the hospital and see
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just want to look at you.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshine day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshine day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is
Welcome back, and we're grateful for that short break, because in that time I learned some things which I cannot unlearn. And I'm hoping Lowell didn't learn anything, like the Big Daddy talk. And that's just hilarious. But I'm gonna pick up from where we were talking about your own efforts. So now, in Scripture it says, "Iron sharpeneth iron." And to whether you're spiritual or you're just like words of wisdom, we know that a strong person will build strength in another strong person, because we take encouragement from each other's actions. Sometimes weak people weaken you too. So you got to be careful that if you're iron, get the magnetic field going and find some iron near to you. And I'm discovering that Dr. Tamara here is not no shrinking violet just waiting to be helped. The symposium that you mentioned, what I am curious about is just how much care we take to look behind the picture and see. No, if I'm seeing a lot of children with evidence of malnutrition, something is going on in the home. And you mentioned something about nutrition. Tell me about your symposium.
All right. So the nutrition symposium that I had in April of this year was actually birthed after doing the clinics for a few months, and I noticed that in my admitted cohorts, we had at least one malnourished child in every single cycle. I mean, obesity is also a challenge, childhood obesity. But undernutrition is actually the most devastating right now as it relates to the growing brain. I discussed it with the SMO at the time. His name is Dr. Mackenzie as well.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. And he was quite excited. We decided to extend it to the adult population. We got together a group of persons that understood my passion, and there it was.
And there it was.
Yeah, we formed
right there
and we just
on the grounds of the hospital. How receptive was the community?
The community was very receptive, and quite receptive, of course, to the care packages. That were no, because the need that exists is tremendous. I don't think I can ever explain to you the significance. But what they do need more is health education. And a part of your health, a large part of your health, is your nutritional status.
Obviously.
That's correct. Yeah. And you can cure and kill.
Well, we were saying eating. Prevent is better than cure. So, and your food is your medicine.
So your food is your absolute medicine. Two things,
they're coming together perfectly. And you've found some partnership with STEM in addressing those needs.
Because they mentioned to me earlier too, that they had changed their lifestyle based on what was happening with their mother. And everybody's on the path of health. So we really want to extend that to the community. And it goes as basic as letting them know that we can go back to what previously was done. Plant your callaloo. Organic food is that.
So you're not going in and telling people to go and buy brown rice and whole wheat flour.
I'm not doing that because I understand the economic dynamics.
Use what you have. Showing persons how to use what they have more wisely.
That you can do that can modify your day-to-day intake and actually improve it. Like in our community, they view fish simply as a means of income.
Yes.
We had to make them understand. No, they hardly. So we had to make them understand that there are ways that you can integrate it. So we had chefs on board, nutritionists and dietitians on board, and we had many booths, and people were speaking to them on how to prepare simple day-to-day items to make it taste like luxury without requiring luxury cost items.
Yes.
So it was quite interesting. It came off very well. It was very well received. So we want to repeat one such, and that will happen in December. But we're going to make it larger than life, hopefully.
Yeah. So now your back to school treat and blood drive and so on, it's in Lionel Town. You want to include some care package that addresses the nutrition needs.
That's right.
What date is that again? That's in August?
August 19th.
The 19th of August. Is it only for residents of the community, or someone can from Kingston can
feel free
head down there?
Especially if you're coming in with good tidings and joy.
And bringing,
so that's correct.
If you're coming to contribute.
As long as you come with blood.
You know what? The blood drive. Absolutely.
Very important.
Yes, yes.
Give blood, get back.
No, it's the truth. It is the truth.
That is way better than some of the things we've been, like, you know, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Or if you're on gun charge, you can't be at large. What is it? Give blood, get back?
Get back, yes.
All right, I can work with that one. You were talking about some of the dietary changes which you made in your personal life. And I was asking, you know, how are you able to give birth to a charity while looking after yourself and family? And you seem to be doing this full time. Walk me through that journey, please.
Well, we're doing this full time now because of my smart, beautiful wife. Came up with the idea. For us to move and do what we want to do, we have to find a way where we could also survive. And then we're in a position where if we don't get enough help, we still could help ourselves or help the community. So she came up with Hands and Heart Home Care, where we have a group of people going to home and help the elders.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
and you're in a country where that kind of business, you won't have enough hands and hearts.
Yes.
Yes. And you know, oh my goodness, coming out of COVID and the persons witnessing firsthand how isolating, how lonely it was to see their senior citizens, their elders in a state facility or in a private facility, and you can't get to them because there was a time when it would have been convenient to just drive down on the weekend and visit grandma or grandpa, and then the doors are closed and you can't see them through a window. I think most people now want to be able to care for their elders in their homes, and that's the business you've entered.
Yes.
Okay. You know, Jamaica need that.
Yes. We're coming home. We're coming home. Our intention is to come back here for good. We're coming home. So
when did you launch your Hands and Hearts business?
Hands and Heart, we launched Hands and Heart because, as you know, I'm in that field.
Both.
Yes. So we decided to start along with Jasmine, who's our she's our everything. She's my sissy. So Hands and Heart is new.
Yes.
But in that field, so it doesn't feel like new because I already have the clientele, so it's just getting everything registered and up and running. And as you said before, during the pandemic, you know, the seniors, they weren't able to socialize with their grandkids and stuff. So now Hands and Heart come in play where we're able to reach out to them. We're able to be in their home, even just to provide their meal for them, someone to sit down and talk.
Read to them.
Personally, the seniors are the backbone of the foundation of every nation.
Of course.
They set the pace for us already. So
of course. That they're holding the wisdom, you know, and we have to give them opportunity to transfer. And if we are not in their presence, the transfer will not take place. And that is between how we treat our elders and how we treat our children.
Yes.
We define the prospect for success or extinction. That is, I hope you got that because I won't remember I said it. Yes. We're at the 9:30 point.
Okay.
Let me get Dr. Tamara's wise words before we take a break.
No. I had no nuggets. I was just agreeing with you wholeheartedly. Yes. And to be truthful, the elderly, especially in Jamaica, I find they are a sidelined community. A lot of sympathies extend to children naturally,
right?
But the elderly,
we don't give honor.
Symposium focused, excuse me, quite a bit on the elderly
in terms of their nutritional needs and so on. All right, let's take the break so that our doctor can get rid of that frog.
Old age.
Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vijay Printers, your best choice in printing.
You good? You can get better. Spread the word. Straight Up gets better on Bess FM. Straight Up Jerry Small, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays on Bess100 FM. 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. I'm your host, Robin Jerry Small. The numbers are 279-8473, 279-8473, and 619-1508. 619-1508. Also streaming live on the internet. Bess FM, straight up. Robin.
True soul, you just have to cling, and then you will feel you feel the soul inside of you.
There will be days when you're too tired to move, to drive, but you think you have to because your vehicle won't wash itself, right? But no, you don't have to visit a car wash. 123 Mobile Car Wash will come straight to you. Yes, you heard right. 123 Mobile Car Wash is offering services in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. We shampoo and detail cars, trucks, offices, and more. No job too small. Call us at 876-631-3400. 123 Mobile Car Wash. We come to you.
Bess FM, strictly the best. I'm say a real reggae music. Music for the black nation. Roots rock reggae music. I'm say consciousness is the key. Kabaka Pyramid.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
All right, welcome back. We're in the final segment of the show, and oh my goodness, you know that when we meet people on set, the big thing for us, and even in Pastor Percy, let me just pat you the space you would occupy. One of the things we seek to do is to just get to the heart, because or we know instinctively that it's the heart of a man that determines the quality of his actions, the quality of his contribution, and therefore what will happen to our society. And what we are discovering just in the break, a lot of times, the big conversation takes place in the break. And I want to share some of what we were discussing in the break, because these two sainted people have not just found the entrepreneurial fire to enable them to do the giving. And I had said too that learn this. When you begin to give and you are loving what you're doing, you're going to find ways to get your independence so you can do more of it. And out of it has become the most beautiful business. Akiba, you remember the speech you gave me in the break?
Yes.
About elder care and why and how you do it?
Yes.
Please mention the spa and all of the things that you do for this, for your hands and heart clients.
So hands and heart home care is newly found, but I've been doing home care for maybe 17 years, if I can remember. What Hands and Heart does is we specialize in our seniors. Our seniors are...
Well, that's the lifeblood.
My heart is pumping a little bit when I start talking about...
Yes, that's the lifeblood of your business, man.
Yes, our main focus. We will go into seniors' home. We have family reach out and they need help. It's like a baby. So they need someone to care for their elder, to make sure that their hygiene is taken care of, their medication is properly administered. So that's where Hands and Heart come in. Our service that we provide is that we'll go into the homes and we'll make sure that we prepare their meal, their hygiene is taken care of, their clothes is washed. We treat them like they're in a 5-star hotel being served. We're not just going to sit around, we play games with them, we will take them out to their favorite spots. Most of these seniors like to watch their movie. Some of them might not remember, but you know the things that they loved.
That they loved when they were up and about.
Yes.
Yes.
So we will take them to their games, and there are always little places that they like to go to. Like they like to watch the movie, they like to watch a live show, they like their sports.
So you cover entertainment, hygiene, relaxation,
everything.
Good, well-presented meals. And because you are a chef, you got to lay out for me your treatment of the retired athlete who you...
Yes, we prepare his, I personally will prepare his meal for the day, breakfast. And his favorite thing is my favorite omelette. It's not just a regular omelette. My omelette comes with a spinach wrapped omelette with toasted bread. You will have a slice of banana. I try to incorporate fruits because especially banana, the good potassium in it just regulates.
So back to the nutrition that Doc was mentioning.
Yes. So
and
you always make sure that you know exactly what they can have and what they cannot have. You want to keep them in good health until it's the good Lord say when.
When, yes.
So you want to make sure that they're eating well and keep their appearance up.
So do you find sometimes that when you prepare for your actual client, the rest of the family want to come in on it?
Yes, they'll smell it and said, "Oh, Dad, you're eating," or they said, "Mom, you're eating good," or sometimes they want to try it.
So you know part 2 of the business is coming.
Oh no, I do catering also.
So
I do catering. So I have a couple of hats that I wear.
That you wear, the chef hat and the nurse hat.
They are my main focus.
Yeah. So how does Mr. Williams support that new business?
Mr. Williams.
What is your support in that new business?
Well, I love it because that's our main income right now. But sometimes I miss her.
Oh, because she's very hands and heart in the thing.
I miss her.
So you need a bigger team. She has to clone herself.
Yes, I work there also. So sometimes she's there, sometimes
you are on another job.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we don't see each other much. So that's why, we're here. I'm gonna make the best at the time.
Well, with every business that you start, it takes time to get your business up and running, where you don't really have to do most of the legroom. But I want to make sure that the staff that I get, they give out the same compassion that I would give out.
So you really are cloning yourself. You're giving the training, setting the standard, doing the hands-on.
Whenever we get a new client, I have to go there and evaluate that client. I want to know the do's and the don'ts, what the client likes, what they don't like, because you want to give them that treatment that they're used to. You don't really want to go in and change what they're used to. It's not time to change anything.
Right.
Pick up from there and make
it, and then maybe make it better.
Yes.
So let me get I'm a great mediator, so I want to broker a kind of a settlement for my good friend here, the STEM Upriser. So we're giving it another 3, 4, 5 months while you train someone so that he can have more time with you. How soon you think you're gonna?
You'll never have enough time, even if I give me. Always gonna want.
Oh, the power of love. May I just say that these two together for 22 years?
22 years, and
We've been married for 13 years. June 20th was make it 13 years since we've been married. So we.
It is this June 20th?
Yes.
You got married on the 20th of June?
Yes.
Oh, so you're actually celebrating your...
all week, all month.
Very well.
I forget the
What, the actual day?
No, I forget the gifts and stuff like that. But I make it up to her maybe next year.
The gift is the least. We're together, and that's what makes it.
You see what her gift is to you? She know that you love time with her. So, all right. Do I get my fee as a mediator? All right. Well, I mean, it is, they say the family that prays together stays together, and apparently if you give together as well, it just strengthens the bond. We're coming to, let's see, we have like 2 or 3 minutes left. It's been a fun morning
Already?
Yes, I know.
We didn't even remember talking about Sparling blood drive and back to school.
This is the time to do it. And the 5K.
And the 5K.
The 5K. This is the time for it. Tell me about the 5K.
We're having our second blood drive and our first back to school in Spalding's Percival Junior Hospital, and Summer Pricing is also having their first 5K/run walk. So
run walk.
Yes, if you can't run, you walk. So come out and support. It's for a good cause.
What day is it? The date?
It's gonna be on July the 17th. July the 15th,
right?
And the back to school, and July the 17th will be the 5K.
The 5K.
You can reach us on STEMUprise, www.stemuprisingcorp.com, and you can also see us. We're on Facebook and we're on Instagram. That is STEMUprising@gmail.
So how do people contribute? For the purpose of the 5K, you have to register and pay a registration.
You have to register and pay registration. And please do register. If you can't make it, register and pay the fee, because the funds will be well used.
Yes, so register anyway. You don't need to be able to run or walk.
Arterial blood gas.
Did you tell them about that machine?
Oh, all right. Oh, you're raising funds to buy a particular piece of equipment for several
blood gas machine.
Okay. Yes. Why are we gonna run walk?
It's just to measure blood gas levels. So it's essentially going to tell us how acid or basic your blood is at the time. It's basically that. Let's get into the clinical aspect of it.
But it is necessary in the treatment of what ailments? Everything.
Multiple.
Yeah, especially for the children, or in all patients.
For the children, but
all patients.
The adults tend to benefit a little bit more than the children.
Hospital have none.
No, we don't. They have
4 hospital who need.
They have one in Mandeville, but a lot of the times they're out of cartridges. I mean, we surely don't have one by us. But we would love your contribution in an ABG machine. Thank you. Let me thank you in advance.
And the heart machine is very...
Right. The plan is to get another ECG machine. They contributed a high flow nasal oxygen, which is quite expensive. Let me tell you, it's upwards of 500,000 Jamaican dollars for one of that. This is like 650 or something like that.
For the machine?
Yeah, it was 1.2 million.
1.4. Yes, triple your money. So the long and short of it is, we could spend the morning looking at the needs. The needs are plenty, but you only need to register and make your contribution, and if you can, come out and run walk, or just watch from the sidelines. There'll be room for you.
But Lionel Town Hospitals, separate and apart from STEM Uprising, guys, remember, I can be reached at tmclite@yahoo.com, and the number is 876-775-2987. No, you can email me and we can put you onwards to the CEO, etc., if it is that you have an interest in contributing to the hospital, just like these.
Yes, or partnering with you in any of your initiatives. All right, that's a wrap. Thank you very much. Your friends, your family, I gotta say hi to Dasman. She's my big sister, by the way.
Yes.
Wow.
It's like,
Hi, Dasman.
yeah, she's my big sister, but we grew up like twins.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Continue to donate.
Before we go, I want to say big thanks to STEM volunteers.
Yes. Oh, yes. Don't we forget.
They are everything. They are, I can't call name because...
Then you'd have to call every name.
Yes, I we don't have enough time, but they put their heart in just like us, and they do groundwork. I want to say a big shout out to my mother, who even in the middle of they tell her that she only have 2 years, she go out and fry fish just to make us have money to ship things off. I want to say big thanks to Akiba mother who give us the opportunity to stay with our younger kids so we could move and we're comfortable. We don't have to worry about the kids.
Yeah, you can pack up and jump on the plane.
Anywhere, anytime, they are well taken care of, and at the same time they get homeschooled. Okay. So there are a lot of people I want to say thanks to. But, Kimmy, Brendan, I see you. Barbara, yeah, I don't want to call names.
Well, can I tell you, every one of our guests, as they are leaving, they have so much more to say that they need to come back. So you are welcome to come back and to bring a list of names.
I want to also say big thanks to Best Dress Chicken, who been really helping us. Big sponsor, especially the boilers division. I want to say big thanks to Grace, who just come on board.
Also, you are getting good partnerships and making connections.
Yes,
and you just
right
met
now
JPS and JPS said,
JPS said, they're gonna.
They will do something with
potential persons who offer to help. But really quickly, want to say thank you to Dr. Green, Dr. Chusett, Dr. Pauline Leon, back in the States with Dr. Booten. Thank you guys very much for all your support and continue to support STEM Uprising. Thank you guys.
All right. So let me just say,
Dr. Tamara, for coming in. Thank you, Dr.
No, you're welcome, darling.
Dr. Stephen Chong.
Dr. Chong, that's right.
You gave me wings.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you keep saying thank you, we will.
Alicia, I see you. Alicia. Thanks.
We'll be saying thank you because you've got a lot of support. Yes. All right. To my listeners, our Bess FM family, and let me tell you, they are that's nice. I thank you so much that you make the time, you spend time with us, you love the things we love, and I really do appreciate you. This morning I was so taken up with the guests. I probably didn't give you as much love as I used to, but I'll save your comments and we can talk about them when we come back. Next week is a new week. You know that Thursday is our Friday because we are not on air on Fridays. And so we look forward to being with you again in the coming week. Thanks to the crew back at the studio and the Morning Connection team. I got to call them by name. Lowell and Eden, thank you both very much. It's been a busy morning and you've carried it like champions. And to all of you, I say have a great weekend.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
You are most welcome.